Well, shit, we had a lot of news this week. You know, I should have been excited about this week because essentially I was proven right once again. I'm gonna blow my own horn. Yeah, I was right. I was right about everything, every fucking thing. I should have been more excited about it because it's like, finally, you know, this whole stupid, retarded fucking grift is gonna come to an end. But for some reason, it didn't make me happy. It just pissed me off even more. Because the grifters are never going to admit that they were wrong. They're never going to do it. They're going to keep doubling down. They're going to keep coming up with new conspiracy theories, new angles to keep the grift going. Because the reality is the grift pays really well. We have, you know, I can show you, we got it lined up later, like just an example of what one of these grifters is making per episode. And if that doesn't explain to you and kind of illuminate your thinking as to why that they're doing this, then I don't know what to tell you. It's a fucking grift, dude. And it frustrates me. Because it's like, can you just admit you were wrong? Of course not. Of course not. Because it's not about being wrong. They don't give a fuck about being wrong. They just want to keep that money train rolling, bro. And it's frustrating when the con artists, grifting, lying pieces of garbage are the ones that have the largest voice, that are dictating the conversation. And it almost makes me conspiratorial in a way, because we all saw right away the reaction to this was one of like extreme shock at how violent the left has gotten, which if you've been paying attention, it shouldn't have been shocking to you. And then we saw them celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And, you know, it was kind of a wake-up call to like, holy shit, this is kind of what the Democrats, the left have become. Now, is it surprising to me that the social media companies that are 90% run by Democrats who are loyal to the Democrat Party and always carrying water for the Democrat Party would then turn up all of the fucking crazy conspiracies in the algorithm to get everybody to stop thinking about how bad the left is and how fucking deranged and violent they're behaving? So that's my conspiracy. You know, I can have conspiracies too. I really think social media, these fucking leftists who run YouTube and all the other social media platforms, other than like Rumble, I think they did this on purpose. I think they saw the writing on the wall and they said, hey, this is going to fucking destroy the ability for Democrats to get elected in the future. So we got to kind of move the narrative to something else. So all of a sudden, all these people, somebody did a conspiracy video on the Charlie Kirk. I don't know who the first one was. It went fucking bonkers. And all the grifters saw that and jumped on the bandwagon, because that's all you have to do is incentivize it by boosting it in the algorithm. And next thing you know, everybody's fucking doing conspiracy content around Charlie Kirk. And all the reasonable fucking people looking into it reasonably, actually trying to get to the heart of what happened and not just trying to grift to make money, they all got pushed to the sidelines. And it's frustrating when you see just complete bullshit getting 100 times the fucking reach as the shit that's actually trying to, like, you know, debunk the bullshit and provide some honest opinions on what happened with Charlie Kirk. See, a lot happened this week. They had the preliminary hearing. A lot of these conspiracy retards who are giving conspiracies a bad name, they don't even understand that this is a preliminary hearing. It's not the trial. It's essentially them making the case to the judge that the case should go forward. So it's the prosecution presenting all the evidence, not all of it, but, you know, the most important pieces of evidence to the judge, so the judge can go, hey, you got nothing, we're, you know, no trial, or hey, we have a case here, we're going to trial. That's all what this was. This is not the trial. This is just the preliminary hearing. But we did get a lot of what the prosecution has evidence-wise, and it turned out I was right. I said, look, they have this video of him running on the rooftop, jumping off the roof. There's probably a good likelihood they have a video of him taking the shot as well if they have this video, but they're probably holding that back. Oh, turns out that's the case. Also turns out, from what I'm hearing, the quality of the footage is better than, some people are saying 4K. I don't know if it's 4K, but the footage we got was like a screen recording of the recording. So it was very, very fucked up. According to the people who saw it, the quality of the actual footage is way better. And there is footage. They have footage of him parking in his car, going up the stairs, all different cameras obviously putting this together, going onto the roof, assembling his rifle, laying down, taking the shot, then getting up. He didn't disassemble his rifle. Joe Rogan's another one who fell for this. Oh, how did he have time to disassemble? He didn't disassemble it. He took the shot and then he ran. He didn't take the time to disassemble it. And if you look at the footage, Ian Carroll's was trying to say there's no gun. You don't see the gun. It's like there are images that are a little blurry where it does look like he's carrying a gun and is, you know. So he runs, jumps off the rooftop. So it's basically the footage we already had, but like a couple minutes before, where it actually captures him taking the shot. So, I mean, it's pretty clear as day. Of course, the arguments now is like, well, it's not Tyler Robinson. How do we know it's Tyler Robinson? It's so blurry. How do you even know? It's like, dude, they have his car pulling up. They track him from his car to the next cameras at the stairs, where it's actually pretty much clearer that it's Tyler Robinson, up to the rooftop where, okay, yeah, it's kind of far away, so it's hard to identify from that one. But when you put all the footage together, you know who it is going up there, okay? It's only one guy that fucking went up there. It's not very hard. So yeah, but we're going to move now to like, it's definitely not Tyler. There's no way that's Tyler. So they're going to keep moving the fucking conspiracy goalposts. Never admit they were wrong about 100 different fucking whacked conspiracies. They did Egyptian planes, the snow guy and his bullshit story, the maroon t-shirts. It just goes on. Just nonstop bullshit. And man, they're getting paid so well. That's the incentive. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing this because they give a fuck about the truth. They're doing this because they're getting paid a fuckload of money to do it through the algorithms boosting their shit and through ad revenue and super chats and blah, 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 all that other stuff. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Hello, everybody. We've got a lot of clips to go through. We're going to catch up on a lot of what happened this week in the trial. And yeah, we're going to have a fun episode. Hope everybody's doing good. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing good. Crad, Real Palm Beach, Peter. That's not Jeffrey Epstein, is it? Palm Beach. What's up, Cyber Twitch? Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Metal, what's up, everybody? John Hertzall, John was here. JL Dubs, what's up, buddy? What's up? Okay, so links are in the description if you want to support the show, for Discord, all that good stuff. Smash the thumbs up. It's much appreciated. And yeah, let's get into this. Might have to turn my air conditioner on because it's getting hot. I should not have went with this. I like this long sleeve shirt. I don't know why I like it. I think it's one of the few shirts I like the way I look on stream.
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $5. Twig confessed that Tyler inscribed the bullets with leftist stuff and the cops found those shell casing on the roof. He shot more than once.
Yeah, but that's all fake, Metal, right? Any evidence that that disproves their crazy conspiracy theories is fake. But if it was to back up their conspiracy theories, then it's real evidence. But if it's evidence that discredits them, it's fake. That's all fake. It's all fake and gay Metal. Yeah, we have that. We're going to go over that too. We have they've released pictures of his ammunition, which he used a Dremel to inscribe his little messages, catch fascist, and if you read this, you're gay, like little memes he put on the bullets, which, by the way, definitely affected the bullet's flight path by, cutting into it. So that plays into all this as well, because we'll try to get to it at the end, but there's like a detailed report about like the bullet, the physics, because also he's shooting from a downward angle, so it's not going to be a straight on hit. The bullet's going to kind of be, slanted downward, which all that takes effect. We also know the exact type of bullet it was.
Crad 6306 super chatted $1.41.
Thank you, brother.
All the love.
All the love back at you. Like I said, it's most likely a soft point. That's what most people buy when it's 30-06. They're buying soft points because a lot of people, they don't like the idea of a full metal jacket that could travel through the target and hit God knows what. It's kind of dangerous, kind of a safety issue. So most people use soft point. Turned out to be a soft point. And yeah, so the 30-06 thing, we'll get into that as well. That whole, they keep falling back. Oh, if you think a 30-06 wouldn't explode you into a million pieces and it's like, dude, it's so fucking retarded. Like, if you were to do any honest research in this, you would see many examples that 30-06s don't always exit. But, and then if it's a soft point, it's even less likely to exit. That a lot of times it's going to fucking deform and break apart. And this is exactly what happened in Charlie Kirk's case. But yeah, we'll get to that as well. It's a lot of shit here. What am I on here? Oh, let's get over to my bookmarks. So yeah, here's the bullet. Here's another thing that they're taking completely out of context and just manipulating people with, right? So they came out and they said, hey, this bullet here is too damaged to be able to do a forensic analysis to match it to Tyler Robinson's gun. Okay? So they couldn't match it to any gun because it's destroyed beyond the point of being able to do that. The candy fucking crowd, the candy cult comes out and says, hey, they just said that they can't, that this gun isn't a match for Tyler Robinson's gun, completely changing the context and just straight up lying. When the reality is the bullet is damaged beyond the point of being able to compare it and connect it to any gun, let alone Tyler Robinson's gun. But that's what they do. They'll bend the fucking context of it and be like, oh, they just proved that this bullet did not come from Tyler Robinson's gun. It's like, no, they're saying they can't compare it to anything because it's too fucking damaged, as you can see. And Phoenix Ammunition has been cooking. It sucks because I hope some of you might be out of the loop if you didn't watch my coverage of this. Like, I don't know, a long time ago, I was covering this. I did say it was most likely a soft point. I said they probably had footage of him taking the shot. There's a lot of things I was correct about. The 30-06, I did all the research everybody's doing now, where I went back and pulled up fucking records from like Vietnam and World War II, and it's like, you know, Martin Luther King. There was this guy who literally was shot with a 7.62, which is essentially the same round as a 30-06. I know that's going to blow your mind, but go do your research. Shot by a 7.62, and you know it didn't go through. It stayed in his body. And everybody's like, you're lying, you're a piece of shit. And then it turns out it was all recorded. He's actually got video footage of him in combat getting shot by his 7.6. So I did my research. I didn't just go off of what these fucking retards are saying, which is like, oh, if you think a 30-06, then you're just a blah, 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 blah. And you know, this is what's coming out now. So yeah, here's the bullet. Here's Phoenix Ammunition talking about it. He's been, again, one of the few people who's been pretty much like 100% accurate about everything. He called the round. He's an ammunition expert. This is his livelihood, his job is manufacturing ammunition. There's probably very few people who know it as well as he does. His incentive is to be right because he's not making money grifting off of this shit. He's not like Ian Carroll and Candace Owens who are like, their incentive is to keep the money train going, bro. Just keep that fucking money train going. There's no incentive to be right. And in fact, you get de-incentivized. Like when I came on and fucking pushed back against the retardation, did I get rewarded? Did I get more viewers? No, I got attacked left and right. I got people that stopped watching me because they were Candace fans. There was no benefit to telling the truth. And I've learned that now. Like that's the reality of, being a streamer, having a show. There is no benefit to honesty and truth. Grifting is the only thing that you're going to make money off of. I don't know. Maybe some people can find a way to benefit off of like trying to do a good analysis of things and be honest and truthful. But in my experience, I just get attacked every time I do it, dude. It's like if I would have just joined the Candyland Club and just fucking went crazy with every conspiracy, it probably would have been a lot better for me career-wise. Maybe not long term, because maybe eventually these people will be laughed at and fucking seen for the grifters they are, but they seem to have a fucking army right now because they've been put in front of so many people and they've convinced these people to buy into this so hard and to make it so much of their online personality and persona that a lot of the candy cult will never admit they were wrong. You know, it's one of those things where like, you just can't admit you were wrong because you're going to look stupid. And you don't want to look stupid, so you got to keep doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, septupling down, whatever the next one is. So it gets fucking retarded at a certain point. But let's see. This is what Phoenix Ammunition has to say. He's been cooking Ian Carroll. He's been absolutely destroying him. This is what it looks like when a soft point bullet sheds the jacket after hitting something hard like human bone. Here's the bullet. I believe this is the bullet that, this is the bullet that was taken from Charlie Kirk. Projectiles are made by pulling the thin copper jacket over a lead slug, like putting on a wetsuit. The two pieces are held together by mechanical friction, not bonded together with glue or any other form of adhesion. Some projectiles are bonded, which means there's some manner of mechanical or chemical interlock between the jacket and the lead slug in an attempt to limit jacket shedding. Remington's Core Lock is not a bonded projectile. It's a basic bitch soft point that's been around for decades, manufactured using techniques that have existed for a century or more. There is nothing unusual or strange about finding a projectile in this shape after striking a human spinal cord and possibly other bones after the initial deflection. It's only impossible if you have a narrative to sell. I don't have a narrative to sell. I have a real business that makes a real product. It happens to be the product that's in dispute, and that's why I'm here. Why are you here, Ian? Yeah, he's been going back and forth with Ian. Here's a cutaway of a standard soft point projectile. As you can see, the copper jacket is extremely thin, around 0.020 or roughly 33% thinner than a credit card. Under that, you have lead. One of the reasons you need a copper jacket is because lead is soft. It wouldn't survive the muzzle velocity or twist rate of modern rifles if left completely bare. With the soft point, the tip is left unjacketed so as to intentionally cause the bullet to deform. The lead gets squeezed inside the copper jacket, causing it to split and peel open like a banana. This occurs whether you're hitting soft tissue or a solid object, albeit to a different degree and with different effects. Albeit to a different degree and with different effects. Copper and lead are, generally speaking, softer than human bones. When a soft point bullet or a projectile of any type really hits bone, you have absolutely no way to predict the outcome with any degree of certainty. Why do people have this weird idea that military guys are experts on ammunition? I've lost count of the number of military, police, and SWAT guys I've educated at various training classes and events out of the dumbest FUD lore you could possibly imagine. It's like saying a race car driver automatically knows everything about all types of engines. It's just not remotely true at all. He's talking about that Valhalla guy. So the Valhalla guy is, again, another one who's got to triple down. He's like, well, if it's a soft point, that makes it even worse. His whole head would have exploded because it was a soft point. It's like, I mean, like, oh yeah, he would just blow it up into a bunch of little pieces. Again, it's like their whole thing relies on it being impossible to not have an exit wound. That is easily debunked. Okay, it's debunked by the same people you say to listen to, hunters. When you go on the hunter forums, you can find them talking about shooting a fucking deer with a 30-06 and not having an exit wound, going back way back, well before the Charlie Kirk incident happened, and this became a big talking point, a big subject that the internet was talking about. Not to mention historical war records, not to mention just so many examples.
Brother _B_ hated super chatted $5. Did you see Baron Coleman's videos on the shooting? Might want to give a watch.
I don't really watch Baron Coleman. I more focus on, I don't really watch any of them, to be honest, but like the ones I pay more attention to is Candace and Ian. Yeah, well, tell me what to type to search for it, and at some point we can pull it up. Thank you for the 5. I think I do have how much Baron Coleman makes per episode. I think I have that. He's the example of
Adina Crad
explaining what the
super chatted $1.41. It works exactly like VATS in New Vegas.
Yeah, everybody gets everything they know from a video game, right? Here's another one. Chris Martinson, another grifter, created an entertainment show that in no way replicated what occurred that day. Yeah, they keep shooting ballistic gel, thinking that like that's a comparison to shooting a human. It's not. Chris Martinson, grocery store meat is not an analog to a live human being in any form. The fact that you and Chris don't understand why is hilarious, but has been successful at duping a lot of even lower IQ people than you are. Ballistics gel is not a live human being either. Chris' motivation was to channel traffic to his website where he sells ebooks about prepping and sells ad space to gold companies looking to snag a few bucks out of unsuspecting boomers. That's it. You built an impressive circle of liars, that's for sure. There's no shortage of people willing to sell themselves out for a few impressions and some ad revenue. Yeah, $5,000 an episode. This dude's making like at least 15 grand a week. This Baron Coleman guy. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's all you need, dude. You need that fucking incentive. Algorithm pushes it, blows anybody up talking about that shit, and then, you know, they just sit back and just watch that become the talking point because that's what's put in front of everybody. What's up, Metal? Thanks for the gifted membership, brother. So yeah, here's Valhalla explaining why the soft point makes it even worse, or the theory that it didn't exit.
All right, guys. So conveniently, I just happen to have the exact
listen to this
30-06 Springfield. They're actually 150 grain rounds at my house. Look at that. There they are. Now, looking back at this picture, I actually do think one of these rounds is a soft point round, and it looks like the other ones are FMJ rounds from what I'm looking at. But just so you guys understand, there's no difference here. And actually, if they're soft point rounds, this becomes even worse because soft point rounds are specifically designed for killing elk and moose, right? You guys want me to actually read you the description straight from the box of what these rounds are supposed to do? Here you go. They are designed for deep penetration and in controlled expansion up to twice the diameter, the expansion of the round.
But this is all bullshit, FYI, but we'll let him talk.
Which means his head would have been blown off than a typical round.
Oh, okay. So if you shoot somebody in the neck, you blow their head off, right? Because that's how things work.
Right? Not only that, the height weight retention won't break up or separate for more effective stopping power. So these rounds are designed to not break up. We also know that Charlie had 5 or 6 fragments because the bullet broke up. And they are also designed to go through a moose. The soft points. Now, FMJs are typically not what you're going to hunt with. You can, but they're still designed. So these are designed to penetrate as far as possible and expand as big as possible to blow the biggest hole possible to make the most damage possible because you're trying to get through elk, moose, giant animals, right? Also, you know, the way you can tell.
This is so retarded, bro, because it's literally the opposite. A soft point is designed to not go through. Okay? It's like, oh, it's a soft point, so now it's everything's going to blow up. It's going to create the biggest hole ever.
And I'm not actually going to show the whole thing because who knows, but you can see the tips of these, right? The difference is, I don't know if you guys can see, one's round and it's got, see how the top is all brass and then
so the round one is actually worse for an exit, is actually going to create more exit wounds than the one that comes to a point at the end, the Full Metal Jacket, right? Is common sense working for any of you guys out there? Okay. So it's like saying a baseball is going to penetrate more than a knife. It's fucking retarded.
Crad 6306 super chatted $1.41. It works exactly like VATS in New Vegas.
Yeah, I think you sent that one already, bro. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Top of that one is lead. The soft points have lead tops. And they're actually designed to, again, expand and create massive damage as they blow.
Yeah, expand, which is going to create more friction within the body to actually stop and not exit, dude. Okay? Whereas a Full Metal Jacket is meant to punch through, which is why very few people buy Full Metal Jackets because it's pretty dangerous to shoot something and then the bullet keeps traveling and who knows what the fuck it's going to hit.
Through. So, yeah, the
Joe Crawfish, thank you. I'm doing pretty well. I am really annoyed and black-pilled with society right now, though, because I was already thinking like, okay, we're becoming just fucking retards in general as a people, and this shit, it just like we're just so fucking retarded, dude. Like, where do we go from here?
The weapon and the rounds that Tyler used are specifically designed to kill moose and elk. So there we go. We know it's not some accelerator round. It's not some frangible round. It is basically the most powerful. So not the grain weight could be a little bit higher, but again, these are standard. This is what you're going to buy.
The most powerful? Bro, it's all about like, I wish I was a scientist so I could say this right. I mean, I can common sense, like think it through, but I don't know if I have the right scientific terminology. It's the same power. It's just one is more aerodynamic, I guess would be the way to put it. And the other one is less aerodynamic. Okay. Oh, it's the most powerful one.
Bass Pro
Bro,
Shop.
they just can't fucking admit that they've been spewing a bunch of fucking bullshit. Okay. Because it's not about being right. If it was about being right, they'd be like, hey, we got it wrong. And sometimes it happens and we're going to go on. We're going to try to get it right next. No, it's just keep doubling down because you need that fucking money. And as soon as there's not a conspiracy there anymore, that money's going to dry the fuck up. And the algorithm's going to be like, oh, goodbye. We want conspiracies that get people to stop thinking about the left and how violent and fucking crazy they are.
To go on a live big game with. So there you go, guys. Don't know how we're going to, even my buddies who are privy to like, there is a possibility that it's low grain or like shitty ammunition.
Or he carved into it with the fucking Dremel, which fucked up its aerodynamics as well, which caused it probably to tumble even more.
Bad loads, reloads. It's not grandpa's old ammunition. It's not grandpa's reloaded ammunition. Those are brand new.
How do you know it's brand new? How do you know that's not the ammunition grandpa bought 15 fucking years ago and it's been sitting on a shelf? Because that ammunition's been around forever. But okay, maybe there's something he knows I don't, that it's brand new.
Rounds straight out the box from Walmart. So
thank you, Nate. That was very
if you want to believe
educational.
that a 30-06 with 150 to 100.
If you want to believe it, you mean like historically, we have many cases of it fucking not creating an exit wound. Plenty of hunters that have documented shooting deers and not having that. If you want to believe that, shut the fuck up. This guy's such a retard.
170 grain soft point rounds did not go through a human being's neck from 139 yards. God bless you. But it's not a thing. I bet you the firearms experts who know everything that I said, they know, and when they say that, they'll know it. I bet you they won't say a word on their channels about it. I bet they will be silent
No, they actually debunked your stupid shit, is what they did.
about that. Because it doesn't fit their narrative.
When you guys tested, what did you guys use?
These rounds right here.
Same ones? Okay. The one that went through the steel and the pigs and all that?
Yeah, we use
Cersei
FMJs,
Sitter
but
super
yeah,
chatted $5.
same thing.
You'll be happy to know that you and Fuentes
What's up,
both
Cersei
agree
Sitter?
on this issue. Even Alex Jones says the security team was involved and there is a cover-up though.
Did he say that? Yeah, I mean, Alex, it depends on what day you're watching them. I mean, everybody can have their own opinion. It's a lot of people that still buy the 30-06 thing and just like, there's no way he could have created an exit wound. It's like, well, okay, then I guess all this historical data is just fake, I guess, okay? Oh, excuse me. Now, I'm still very open to the possibility that there's co-conspirators. I'm open to the possibility that maybe Israel put them up to this, and there's this whole fucking plot behind the scenes. What I am debunking is the bullshit, retarded conspiracies that have been coming out from these fucking grifters, the Valhallas, the Ian Carrolls, the Candace Owens, and showing that they're full of shit, that they're not interested in the truth, and they're grifting for money. That's the point I'm making. Is there possibly a deeper conspiracy here with way more involvement from multiple different whatevers? Yeah, that's possible.
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. H is a Democratic Socialist Patriot Front Jesuit.
Who are we talking about? Valhalla? Is Valhalla a Democratic Socialist Patriot Front Jesuit? That's a new term. Yeah, who are we talking about here, Metal2J? So yeah, here's Phoenix Ammunition responding to this wonderful video. Laugh out loud, sure thing, buddy. By the way, Phoenix Ammunition has proven to me that he's actually one of the few experts on this shit. And it is his job to manufacture ammunition and be an expert on this shit. Where Valhalla was, because he was a Marine or something, even though he wasn't like a frontline Marine. I forgot what his actual job was, but it was like, one of these guys sitting at a desk or a pencil pusher type shit. I forget. I think I'll have something on that later. He says, laugh aloud. Sure thing, buddy. Literally everything fragments when it hits bone, even Full Metal Jacket projectiles. Nate's either just as retarded as you are, or trying desperately to profit off of the same grift. That's what's going on. You know that's what's going on. This is what I do for a living.
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Audience capture if it's this easy way are all fuckhead.
Bro, are they? Why are they doubling? Didn't you send that one already? Let me see. Am I having deja vu, or did you send that one already? Yeah, thank you, Metal2J. Audience capture. Yeah, it is easy, bro. It's not audience. It's money capture. Because with a large audience comes a lot of money. I mean, and I'm not even talking about, like, imagine how much Candace Owens is making. Like the lower level people like Baron Coleman, they're making life-changing money off of this grift. I can't even imagine what Candace Owens is making because she's like the largest thing in the world right now.
At Cersei Sitter super chatted $5. Candace and Ian have discredited legitimate
I completely
questioning
agree.
of this obvious cover-up, which is truly sad. Love you, Ping. Let's talk soon, dog.
I wouldn't say it's an obvious cover-up. I'd say there's definitely a possibility that there's more behind the scenes that we probably won't find out about, to be honest. Because if there is a deep state conspiracy, we're not going to find out about it. They're just going to have the evidence for Tyler. They're going to lock him up. Lance Twiggs, do you believe the shit he said? I mean, Lance Twiggs finally came out, did an interview. They showed footage of his interview, and it's like, I don't know if I believe anything this guy's saying.
_be_hated super chatted $5. Take a look at Charlie Kirk's friend Mikey's behavior prior to and after Kirk was shot. Suspect.
Is that the one who made the phone call? Like he was up against the wall, like they just shot Charlie, and it's that guy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird things that happen with TPUSA. I understand why people would be suspicious of them. They should be investigated. Obviously, they should be. Every angle should be looked at, including them, including Erica Kirk. That's how you do a good investigation. But sometimes it's you got to be careful about judging people by the way they respond in a situation like that, because not everybody's going to respond in a way that makes sense. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about there. Yeah, and thank you for the super chats, guys. Where was I at? Nate's either just as retarded as you are or trying desperately to profit off the same grift. This is Phoenix Ammunition. This is what I do for a living. Nate is a retired military guy with a podcast taking tips from the audience and knows just enough to con people who knows literally nothing. Like you, for example. Is that sufficient? So Ian, it's funny. Again, it's like all these experts come out and explain why it's completely possible and feasible that a 30-06 would not exit. Okay? But Ian will choose whatever fucking person he can find, label them as an expert, and be like, oh, well, that's the only opinion that matters now. Valhalla, I've decided Valhalla's the only opinion that matters now. Convenient. Here's photos of the ammunition. Let's look at this. Okay, here's the bottom of the round. I guess what they call that, the primer or some shit like that, right? Will get struck. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. It's the date, okay. By the way, I'm not an ammunition expert, but I was smart enough to do my research and find the people who are and go, okay, well, what historically, I mean, obviously a 30-06 been around for a long time. There's probably, historical examples of people being shot with a 30-06 and it not exiting. And as I did my research, it was pretty obvious that, pretty quickly that, hey, yeah, it is possible for a 30-06 to not have an exit wound. Here's the round. So you can see the engraving right here. He took a Dremel to it. Obviously, if you start cutting into this, you're going to affect the aerodynamics of the bullet. And that's going to affect its flight path. And that's according to an expert, which again, there's a huge report on this. It's probably one of the last bookmarks I have. If we get time, I'll get to it. It's kind of long-winded, very sciencey, but it explains that if you do this to a bullet, you're going to fuck up its aerodynamics. Okay. It's going to cause more tumble. It's not going to function the way it should because you've cut into it. Remington Express core lock. There's the soft point. It's the ammunition he had. Here it is in his little fucking ammo belt thingy. I mean, it kind of looks, I don't know. Look, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't look like brand new ammo. It looks like it's been around for a while, but I don't know. That's just a guess. Not an expert. Don't worry, Paleo ChrisCon. Let's see this. Here's a Green Beret explaining. Okay, here's another one. Another person responding to Valhalla's insane take that a soft point makes it even worse for some reason. Don't worry, Paleo ChrisCon, as a sniper team leader, Green Beret, and as someone that teaches ballistics for a living, I can tell you that Nate Valhalla at VFT is one of the most firearm ignorant clowns on YouTube. He didn't even know if you could change out a stock on a rifle. Nate is an 18E, which is comms radio. Okay, obviously they're still going to know how to shoot and all that, but he's not an ammunition expert, okay? Just because you fucking served and you fired guns doesn't make you a fucking ballistics expert, okay? Doesn't work that way.
At Enocrad6306 super chatted $1.41. These people could argue theme out of drowning.
It's not that hard, bro. You just keep finding fucking ways to just
at Boot
keep
Oil
bringing doubt to
super
everything.
Chatted $19.99. Spent last week visiting my mom. She likes Candace and said she always brings receipts. I told her what seems like receipts aren't anything, just fancy BS. Sad face, I have to refer my mom to Ping from now on, lol. I
mean, at this point, there's just a fucking huge list of bullshit that is just like, okay, well, mom, what happened to the Egyptian planes? Why did she say we're going to get an update and we haven't heard for months about the Egyptian planes? Mom, do you realize the maroon t-shirt is fucking stupid? Because when you say maroon's a military color, just look up what colors are military colors. You'll find out there's a ton of fucking colors that are military colors. What are we talking about here? And yeah, Mom, you should watch Ping. She probably won't like me though, bro. She probably won't like me. I'm an acquired taste, as some say. But hey, maybe I'll become your mom's favorite streamer. Thank you for the 20, brother. That's very nice of you. So yeah, he was a comms radio guy, which I'm not gonna knock that. That's important. It's an important role. My dad was a Signal Corps. He would climb telephone poles and hurricanes and shit in dangerous conditions to keep the fucking communication lines going. So, I'm not going to knock that role, but he's not a fucking ballistics expert, okay? And if you're not a ballistics expert, like me, you can still do research. You can go read what the ballistic experts say. You can go look at historical data, but that's too much to ask for. Just look, big boom, big gun go boom. What do you mean? How could this be possible when big gun go boom? His constant lies and pushing of misinformation for views and clicks and him using his beret as credibility to do it is an embarrassment to the U.S. Armed Forces, everyone that has served, and the U.S. Army Special Forces Regiment. Do you think he fucking cares, bro? Do you think when he's cashing those checks at the end of the month and changing his family's fucking future by putting away all this fucking... Hopefully they're putting away this money because it ain't going to last forever. Do you think they fucking care? Maybe there'll be like a quick second of guilt before he fucking goes and buys his new Ferrari, Yeah, so remember Candace Owens said, there was a big thing about how there's no footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself in. Oh, that's a big conspiracy. I mean, again, I kind of remember a lot of the fucking, every day it was a new angle, right? And that was an angle like, how come there's no footage of Tyler Robinson at the police department and blah, 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 blah. And so Katie Davis Court shows this tweet from Candace from back in November of last year. You honestly cannot make this up. Footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself into police does not exist. The footage simply does not exist anymore. Or maybe it never existed in the first place. You decide. And yeah, it did. They just, like I said at the beginning, there's no reason for the police to just give us all the fucking, all their evidence. Like they're saving it for the trial. And we'll know during the trial what evidence they have. And you could speculate as to what they have, but we don't know. But Candace was like, if the police doesn't give me all the evidence right now, then it's like, okay, it's fucking retarded. Yeah, of course, here's footage of him.
And Agent Davis, who are we seeing here?
That's Tyler Robinson.
And although we are watching it on video, what is he wearing at this time?
He's working a dark colored baseball cap.
That's not true, Manda. That's more bullshit, Manda. Sorry.
Cap with a...
It is.
That's bullshit. 6312 super chatted $4.99. The engraving on the round was on the shell casing that gets ejected from the rifle and has nothing to do with aerodynamics of the bullet.
Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. Let's go look at it again. Yeah, let's look at it again. Oop, did I skip it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's on the casing, not the actual round that's going to come out. Okay. All right. I was just going off what I read earlier. You could be right about that. We'll read it. We'll read what they have to say about that later from apparently experts. But again, it's very sciencey and it's probably going to be boring. Probably going to be really boring. Where did I leave off? Here we go.
And Agent Davis, who are we seeing here?
That's Tyler Robinson.
And although we are watching it on video, what is he wearing at this time?
He's working a dark
Holy shit, he's wearing maroon, boys. He's wearing maroon.
Colored baseball cap with has like a, I believe it's like maybe the Hurley symbol on it, like a white symbol on front. It's a burgundy short sleeve shirt with...
Wait a minute, is it maroon or burgundy? Oh, fuck. Now we got a new conspiracy. Is maroon actually burgundy or is burgundy... Did we not even get the color right? Or does he know Candace's whole conspiracy? So that's a conspiracy. They're trying to hide the fact that it was a maroon t-shirt by saying it's burgundy.
And Agent Davis.
So yeah, footage of him turning himself in. The forensic evidence against this is Benny Johnson. And, I think Benny Johnson is not really to be trusted. But again, this isn't a team sport. It shouldn't be. A lot of people are like, okay, well, Benny sucks, and I like Candace, so I'm going to agree with everything Candace says, and I'm going to disagree with everything Benny says. I don't work that way. When it comes to the Iran war, Candace is right. The Iran war is a stupid waste of time. It's a betrayal. It's retarded. It's whatever you want to call it. We shouldn't be doing it. Okay. Okay. Good, Candace. I agree with that. I'm not going to disagree with somebody just because, overall, I don't tend to like them. If they're right, they're right. If they're wrong, they're wrong. In my humble opinion. But here's Benny Johnson, who I think has been at the trial. The forensic evidence against Tyler Robinson is overwhelming. DNA, cellular, geolocation, security cameras, financial transactions, eyewitnesses, etc. All fake. It was all fake. Every bit of evidence is fake. But perhaps the most demonstrable evidence is the trove of confessions to the murder verified in court today. All fake, of course. That's all fake as well. Tyler Robinson admitted to killing Charlie Kirk numerous times in public and private. The evidence speaks for itself. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I got the burps. Robinson left a note for his lover roommate, Lance Twiggs. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. In text to Twiggs, Robinson directly admitted, I am the one who did it. I'm sorry. Robinson explained his motives in text. I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Robinson told Twiggs in person, I wish I hadn't done it. Robinson praised the rifle after the shooting. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. Robinson told Twiggs he planned to turn himself in. Robinson confessed to his parents. Robinson confessed to law enforcement and surrendered to the Washington County Sheriff's Office on September 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting. Anyone telling you he didn't do it is lyrical to you for profit or to free a confessed murderer, not sure which is worse. You're retarded if you're still listening. Here's more. Whoa, Tyler Robinson's engraved bullets were shown during his preliminary hearing today. Prior to this video of Lance Twiggs was shown where he admits to knowing that Tyler was engraving bullets weeks before Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm open to being wrong, but I don't believe for 1 second that Lance didn't know what these bullets were being engraved for. I am suspicious of Lance as well. Because when I first heard about Lance in the story, I was like, there's no way that this Lance guy, his trans boyfriend, there's no way that this guy didn't help to radicalize him. And this guy wasn't politically fucking like, a typical leftist that's just like, Charlie Kirk is a fucking Nazi, racist, piece of shit, transphobe, blah, blah. But according to the interview, Lance Twiggs says he doesn't really pay attention to politics. He doesn't even know. He doesn't pay attention. He's just, he's just living his life, not paying attention to politics. And that Tyler Robinson was the one who was sort of obsessed with politics. So I don't know. I don't trust Lance Twiggs. I don't. So, but who knows, man? Maybe old Twiggy's telling the truth here. Let's see what's this video?
What are we looking at here in Exhibit 19?
This is the cartridge case that was recovered from the gun.
And what position was this in the gun?
This was this is what was in the chamber.
Okay, and the chamber meaning that's where a cartridge is before or when it is fired, correct?
Yes.
Do you notice an inscription or an etching on this cartridge case?
Yes, I do.
Will you read what that says?
Yes. Notices bulge.
And if we can go down to page 2 of the exhibit, will you read what this says?
OWO, what's?
And to page 3?
This.
And question mark, correct?
Yes, question mark.
All right, if we go to State's Exhibit 20. Is this a photograph of one of the cartridges that was found in the gun?
All right, so I asked Grok if etching a 30-06 round with a Dremel, would that affect its flight path? Let's see what Grok has to say, because I'm not completely buying that. Because you're telling me you could just carve into, even though it's just a casing, you're telling me that's not going to affect anything? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, engraving or etching a 30-06 bullet with a Dremel would very likely affect its flight path and increase the chance of tumbling or instability. The degree depends on how deep, symmetric, and extensive the modifications are, but it's generally a bad idea for accuracy and consistency. Let me add a little more detail. What if it's just the jacket and not the bullet itself? No, engraving or etching just the outer casing would have essentially zero effect on the bullet's flight path or tumbling. Okay. The cartridge does not leave the chamber with the bullet. It stays behind after firing or is injected. The bullet projectile is what travels down the barrel, gets spun by the rifling. Okay, so yeah, you're 100% right. That wouldn't affect the path. Okay. So he was smart. He didn't carve the bullet. He just carved the case. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And what are we looking at here in this view of page 1 on Exhibit 20?
This is the head stamp of it, and it says it is according to the head stamp, it is a Remington 30-06 Springfield.
Is that a different caliber than a .223 round?
Yes, it is.
Will you look at page 2 of Exhibit 20? Will you read the markings?
Adina Crad 6306 super chatted $1.41. OMG, it was a good over it.
It was a good shot. I don't know why he didn't want to say shot. It was a good shot. Get over it. Yeah. I mean, there are some people who say he kind of probably had it sighted bad or whatever because he was probably going for a headshot. So he kind of missed a little bit of what he was actually aiming at. Because I don't think he was going for a neck shot. But who knows?
Here.
The scope might not have been calibrated exactly for the range that he took the shot. It might have been. Somebody said, like, I forget the exact, but it's like usually most people have it calibrated to like 150 or something like that. So it would make sense if he had it like calibrated just a little bit off, that it would have hit a little lower. If again, not an expert.
A fascist.
And he's not even original enough to come up with his own. Wasn't that like trans shooter?
Mario Didorf
Didn't she write the same shit?
$5. About 21% of the United States is illiterate. Charlie Kirk's assassination has me black-pilled AF, and Candace is just plain evil.
Is it really 21%? Is 21%? That's. I gotta check this. %21 seems high, bro. Yes, approximately 21% of U.S. adults are considered to have low literacy skills, often described as functionally illiterate. Jesus Christ, bro. We're so fucking cooked, dude. We're so fucking cooked, man. And this is the fucking business plan now. To just grift to retards, and that's how you make money. Don't be intelligent. Just feed the retards their retard slop. Yeah, I mean, dude, I thought that was insane. When you said 21%, I was like, there's no way it's that high. It is. That's approximately. You know your shit, bro. Thank you for the super chat. We're cooked, dude.
Catch.
We're so fucking cooked.
Up arrow, right arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow.
Now that one's kind of funny, dude. That one's kind of funny. And he's so young. Like, how is that still a meme with today's people? Because like that's like Contra fucking. That's like Nintendo fucking codes, dude. I think that's from Contra, if I remember right. Everybody memorized all the fucking little cheat codes for Contra because that game was fucking hard.
All right, let's go to Exhibit 21.
Adina Crad 6306 super chatted $1.41. Munja.
Well, munja to you too, sir. I don't know what the fuck that means.
And was this another?
I'm out, dude. I don't know if that's a meme. I don't understand or what. But thank you for the two.
Yes.
Will you read the inscription here?
It's the five. Oh, okay. You're right. It is. That's right. Hell divers. I didn't even think about hell divers. Contra's a different code. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense. When I see that, I think of like Contra and shit, like the old Nintendo cheat codes.
Oh, Bella Ciao.
You're right. I didn't even think of hell divers. I've played Helldivers. I should have known that. What do we got next here? Of course they collected it. She's not even watching the fucking hearing. Okay, so this is someone responding to Candace. Candace is like, she don't give a fuck. She's just continuing to do the same old fucking grifting. There's no like, oops, sorry, I was wrong about this. I was right. She just moves on to the next. It's kind of brilliant, right? Like the Egyptian planes gets debunked. Everybody fucking debunks every little conspiracy she comes out, and does she dwell on it and give up and go, oh, fuck, I suck? No, she just keeps going. She's a testament to the human spirit. She just moves on to the next fucking conspiracy and on to the next one, into the next one, into the next one. The police just took a pic of Lance's phone, guys. Biggest assassination since JFK, and they decided not to collect it and store it into evidence. That's not true. For this, to show us that it's a picture. They took it, I forgot the Celebrate or whatever. They used some fucking software that actually is able to verify if they're legitimate text or if they were faked and all that. So again, she's just running with whatever she can. Just trusted him and took a couple cute pics for Insta. And now Lance has immunity. And of course, the judge ruled that the defense did not examine these messages for authenticity at this stage of the hearing. It's just not necessary at this stage. Got it? Enjoy your Fed slop. Except it's not true. They took the phone and then they fucking they used this software to like copy it and verify with the cell companies as legitimate data. But just whatever. You could just say anything, Candace, and people are going to believe you. Of course they collected it. This ally J Kiss says, of course they collected it. She's not even watching the fucking hearing. Here's the witness literally explaining how Lance Twig's phone was collected and extraction was performed using Celebrate. Yeah, that's the software they use.
How did law enforcement get this photograph?
So following Lance's first interview at St. George PD, his phone is recovered at that point, taken into evidence. It is downloaded, I believe it was the following day or shortly after that. The FBI transported that phone to the RCFL, which is the Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory in Salt Lake City. The phone was downloaded through Celebrate, and after that, following that download was complete.
I had a laugh reading Mecha Moose's comment here. She has a wide perspective on life because her eyes are so far apart. You guys are funny, bro. You guys are hilarious.
SBI received a flash drive containing that download. From there, it went to a SIAC analyst to go through that data of his phone to look for any pertinent evidence or information that may be on there. And at that point, that this image of this letter was located.
All right, I'm going to break down a few things. You mentioned, I just want to make sure the record's clear. You mentioned Celebrate a few times. What is Celebrate?
It's a downloading software that's commonly used by law enforcement. I don't do that myself, but it's commonly used to recover data, to download electronic devices, particularly cell phones.
Yeah, I don't think she was. She's been on vacation, so I don't think she was actually watching the trial. It probably makes it easier to just keep fucking spinning fucking bullshit little conspiracies out of nothing when you don't watch the trial.
And you mentioned SIAC. What does that mean?
It's the Statewide Information Analysis Center. It's a division within DP.
So yeah, Nick Fuentes. Yeah, and I do agree with Nick on this. Nick's been, I think, right about this.
MFN Damien super chatted $5. Chocolate cheeks eyes spread like Pinocchio's nose grows lolol. Chocolate cheeks eyes spread like the Pinocchio's nose grows. What I find hilarious about Candace is the way she does this all the fucking time. And this is a straight up cue that tells you like somebody is being they're not being honest and straightforward. She does this. Here we go. She does this all the time. She'll say something and she goes, I can't even do it as hardcore as she does. She goes, like she purses her lips so hard. She'll be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And that's just like a straight up sign that somebody's like fucking being shady, dude. But let's watch this one. Here's Nick talking about it.
And the best example of this, I saw this happen today with Ian Carroll. Ian Carroll, who claims to be a journalist, isn't a journalist supposed to be concerned with reporting the facts? That's what a journalist does. They go on the scene and they see and hear with their own eyes and ears what's happening, and then they report it to the people. Well, Ian Carroll said that he looked at the bullet fragments and said, this resembles a full metal jacket. Ha! It's laughable, the idea that Tyler Robbins...
Cracker Barrel, go back and watch my episodes. I've already addressed... I've gone through most of her conspiracies as they came out, Cracker. I'm not going to go through the 100 different bullshit fucking things. Okay, you're not addressing the fucking Egyptian planes. What happened to the Egyptian planes, Cracker Barrel? Was that real? Do you still believe in the Egyptian planes, or was she wrong about that? Do you realize how many colors are military colors, Cracker Barrel? Do you realize that? Are you even going to address that? What about you're the motherfuckers making the claims? So you need to prove your claims.
And shot a new bullet, Full Metal Jacket, and it didn't leave an exit wound on
At
Charlie Kirk. It's ridiculous.
Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Candy cane is a sweetie. I love the bulging eyes.
It is kind of cute. You know, if she wasn't a demon, it would be kind of cute.
Ridiculous. And people pointed out, they said, no, that looks like a soft point round. And they said, so actually it's not Full Metal Jack. It doesn't have the same penetrating power. They said that looks like something completely different than what you said it was. It actually doesn't resemble that at all, and you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a ballistics expert. That's not at all what that looks like. As a matter of fact, it looks like something else.
Get him.
And produces a completely different effect. And you know what, Ian?
No, but according to Valhalla, things that have a rounded end to them, they actually have more penetration than something that has a fucking point at the end. If you stab somebody with a baseball, you're going to do way more damage than when you stab them with a knife, according to Valhalla.
Carol said, did he say, oh, you're right, I made a mistake? Did he say, I'm sorry, I'm not a ballistics expert, I misjudged this? You're right, tell me more, I need to do more research. No, didn't even skip a beat. Without missing a beat, he jumped in the replies and said, correction, actually it's a soft point round, but this just even makes my case stronger. He goes, actually, this makes my case even stronger. All the more reason why this kind of bullet wouldn't produce that effect. And it just goes to show, it doesn't matter if it was a bullet or there's no bullet at all. If it was a Full Metal Jacket or a soft point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's one way or the other way. It always points in the same direction. Anyone who disagrees is a part of the conspiracy. If I debunk your claims, why am I so interested in debunking you? It's because I'm part of the conspiracy. And I said this early on. This is evidence that the
6306 super chatted $1.41. This framing and visual effects is off the chain.
What are we talking about here? Oh, you're talking about this? Talking about this right here? You like it? Is that what you're talking about? I like it too. Thank you.
People involved are not interested in the truth. If no matter what the facts say, it always is going in the same direction, whether it's blue or red, whether it's right or left. That just proves my predetermined narrative. That just goes to show you have already made a decision about what the conclusion is, and you're not really interested in the facts. You'll find a way to make it suit. Whatever happened, by the way, to those Egyptian planes? Candace Owens did 28 shows last year saying that Egyptian military aircraft...
Hey, you got to talk about something. You got to have a conspiracy about something, bro. So she had to fill some time with something.
We're following Charlie Kirk around in dozens of locations, producing an unignorable coincidence.
Ron Paul, yeah, Pink Trip, he says at Pink Trip, Nick Fuentes had a personal relationship towards Charlie Kirk. You mean with Charlie Kirk? That makes him so beyond biased on this. Think about it. They hated each other. That was their relationship. Nick Fuentes did despise Charlie Kirk because he was, in Nick Fuentes' opinion, a puppet of Israel, which I think at the end Charlie was, because I think specifically because of the 12-day war and the clear push for a war with Iran, which Charlie knew was disastrous and stupid. I think he started to kind of have second thoughts about his relationship with the Israel lobby and all that. But I don't think he was ever going to go full Nick fucking Fuentes. And is it possible that Israel had something to do with killing him? Yes, that's possible. And it should be investigated. Joe Kent talked about that there was an investigation into foreign ties that was shut down. I've said there is a possibility there is a larger conspiracy here. But everybody's listening to retard Candace Owens, who's just grifting to make a bunch of fucking money and who's has no interest in getting to the truth, is just interested in what do I have to do to keep getting this attention and this big paycheck, along with all of her fucking cult members like Ian and Valhalla and all the other ones who are riding that fucking money train right now. Is there probably more to this story? I think it's very possible.
some citizen journalist bought the same flight tracking data that Candace Owens used, and he determined she simply misread the data.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, Ron Paul or Dice says, Pink Trip, that's what I'm saying. So Nick wouldn't think they'd kill Charlie before him because of that Israel-based beef he had with them. I mean, you can take that angle, or you could take the angle that Nick is just looking at it like everybody else and giving his opinion. I think if there was any shred of evidence, anything that would point to that, other than just speculation and things like, well, isn't this weird? And how do you explain this? And how do you explain that? Like, I don't know, man. And I don't think, has Nick came out and said, for sure, Israel had nothing to do with this? Like, we don't know that. We don't know. Like, there could have been people behind the scenes that put that kid up to this. There could, and even if it wasn't Israel, it could just have been other crazy leftists who were like brainwashing him to do something like this. Like, there's obviously more to this, in my opinion. It is, and it's also, I'm not going to throw out the possibility that also it was just this fucking kid. I mean, you can look at him and see he's not right in the head. He's got a weird, deformed fucking head. That tells you a lot when someone has a head shaped like him. It is possible also that he did this on his own. That's possible as well.
And that
I'm not going to claim to know things that I don't fucking know.
Almost every single case where Candace Owens said a military Egyptian aircraft was at the same airport as Charlie Kirk's plane, not only was that plane not where she said it was on another continent. But was there ever a correction? Candace Owens promised one. She said she was going to produce a website with an interactive data set where people could go on the website and look at where the Egyptian planes overlap with the turning point planes. It never happened.
See, but here's the difference, right? Candace hasn't been just going, hey, there might be a conspiracy here. We got all this stuff where, Charlie was leaving the Israel cause, and that makes us all suspicious. No, Candace has made her whole fucking thing to make it look like Tyler Robinson is innocent. He's a patsy. He had nothing to do with this. He wasn't even on the campus that day. He wasn't even on the, when it's clearly fucking the guy who shot Charlie Kirk was Tyler Robinson. All the evidence points to it. Okay? So it's one thing to be like, hey, it's possible that maybe there was the deep state or Israel or, the democratic machine, somebody was behind this kid and there's more of a conspiracy there. Like, that's one thing. But that's not what Candace was doing. Candace has been fucking just trying to basically raise doubt in everything. Even the things that there's tons of fucking evidence for. It's almost feels like she's working for Democrats. Like she does. It's almost like somebody said, hey, you know what? Can you help us get some heat off of the left? Because this is really going to fuck us over. That's what it feels like. That's my conspiracy.
She never.
Or she just got rewarded with a bunch of views and just kept going. She did her, the first episode talking about the conspiracy, and she had more concurrent viewers than God himself. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to stay with it. And then every episode till now is all about Charlie Kirk. Has she done an episode that's not been about Charlie Kirk since the assassination of Charlie Kirk? I don't think so. That's all she talks about.
Produced this interactive resource. As a matter of fact, she just simply never talked about it again. Never brought it up. She didn't admit she was wrong and issue a correction and say that was clearly a red herring, a false lead. The data was false. She also didn't produce this interactive resource which would prove that what she was saying was right. She simply stopped talking about it and moved on to something else. Where's the integrity in that? Where's the transparency? Where's the honesty? Where's the responsibility as a journalist to admit you were wrong? And by the way, that's not like that was one among other things. She said the Egyptian military planes are the key to everything. She said, I can feel it. She said, God told me that. She said, it's a God thing. God told me.
You're afraid of it. Cracker Barrel. That's it right there. You morons are so afraid of a loss to the left. Afraid of it. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point that the left is going to win. That the left is going to have massive success in the midterms and the next president's going to be a Democrat. Foregone conclusion. I'm not scared of it. There's been plenty of fucking Democrats before. Do I hope they're not going to go full communist on us in their next fucking seat, their next little run with power? I hope not, because I don't like communism. Sorry if that bothers you, but I don't like communism. I don't like censorship. I don't like cutting kids' dicks off. There's a lot of things about the left that are not to like, right? But Trump fucked up. He started a war with Iran. He betrayed his base. He destroyed the coalition that the Republicans needed. And rightfully so, he's probably going to lose. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But no, that's just reality. The reality is, in my opinion, if you remember the first couple days before all the conspiracies took over the conversation, that was a conversation. It was, wow, look at all of these leftists celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. What the fuck is going on with the left? And that is not a good narrative to keep active, and to pretend like the left isn't, or the people that run social media are not leftists and want to see the left win and wouldn't work with them to move the narrative somewhere else is naive.
$1.41 into the abyss, brother.
Into the abyss. Thank you for the $2. Thank you, brother.
That the Egyptian military planes are the key to blowing this whole conspiracy wide open. She misread the data. It was wrong. She never produced the interactive resource. We never heard of.
Did she misread the data, or did they purposely manipulate it to make it look worse than it was? Because they had like dates wrong. That like the time frame was like so wide open. Like it could have been not even close. Like I forgot all the details, but it's, to me, I'm more open to them actively manipulating it to make it look worse so that they would have a story there. Something that would get clicks.
About it again. So they went on to the next thing, this 30-06 bullet. That's the thing they hung their hat on. They said it's impossible for a 30-06 round to go through somebody like that and not have an exit wound and not exit the body. They said that's absolutely impossible. It could simply never happen. They hung their hat on this one. And it turns out they recovered the bullet fragments. That's exactly the type of bullet it was. Coming from the rifle belonging to Tyler Robinson, which they found in the field, which he discarded, which he talked about over text with his lover, which they pulled from the phone using Celebrite.
All fake, though. That's what their comeback's going to be. It's all fake. It's all fake slop, fakeness.
Did that stop them? No, they went on to something else. They said, well, why did they repave the area where Charlie Kirk was killed? I know. It's because the chemical compound used in the explosives hidden in Charlie Kirk's lav mic.
The exploding mic. That's my favorite, the exploding mic.
Would have binded with the rain chemically and then been impossible to cover up. So the reason that they paved over a bloody crime scene where somebody was murdered was not because they basically knew that he was shot from over there. So why do they need to keep all this blood-soaked soil in the middle of a university campus when people are going to classes? They said, well, there's only one reason why they would pave over it. It's to conceal the explosive that was used. Okay, well, we found the bullet. No explosive, it was a bullet. She said Tyler Robinson was never on campus. We have security camera footage of him 5 times. He visited the university 5 times leading up to it. She said he was never questioned.
No, but that wasn't him. That wasn't him. No, that's somebody else. That was somebody else that just kind of looks like Tyler Robinson.
They interrogated him twice.
That's fake too. All
the
fake.
Police did, and then the FBI did the day after. Around and around it goes. But it's always just an... Why is there security camera footage? Body doubles, decoys. Why are there text messages? Well, why did they take pictures of them instead of download the data? Well, they did download the data. Well, the data's fake. The software that they use was invented in Israel.
Look, say what you want. Nick is right. He's absolutely fucking right. And I'm sorry for those of you who have a hard time accepting this. What Nick is saying here is 100% right.
Look at the bullet fragments. That's a Full Metal Jacket. That could not have been the bullet. Actually, it's a soft point. Well, that just bolsters my theory. It's the end of the line. It's the end of the line for the Charlie Kirk conspiracy.
It's not, though, because they built a fucking army of people who will not, they can't admit they're wrong now because they're going to lose, they need to save face, right? So this army of people will continue to they're going to go along. They're enjoying the gossip show, the fucking... the soap opera. There's a lot of middle-aged women who I guess they got nothing better to do with their lives. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to stop, bro. That's one of the things that's blackpilling me. It's like, this should be like the point where we all go, oh my God, these people are idiots. And then we laugh at them and people stop listening to him and taking him seriously, but it's not going to happen. Candace is going to come back Monday, and she's probably going to have 1 million fucking concurrent viewers, dude. She's going to make even more money now. What do we got next? Yeah, here's this one's pretty funny. So here's the phone. This is where they took a picture of the phone. How absolutely unfortunate that the damage to Lance Twig's phone screen is a nearly perfect circle exactly over the time display right here, right? Totally freak accident, I'm sure. How would one even go about trying to reproduce damage like this? Bro, you know how many people have damage? Like, my phone is literally barely hanging on. It's like, it's cracked in so many places. It's like, if I take the cover off my phone, like, I get glass on my hands.
Metal2JS420 super chatted $2.
But, you know, it still works.
The left will destroy our economy and go full commie.
I hope not, man. But, you know, it's Trump's fault. He should have stuck with his promises and not started a stupid fucking war that people did not vote for. All right, so yeah, this cracked. Oh my God. But yet we have all the fucking timestamps right here. So what are we talking about? So you're telling me they had to perfectly crack this phone to cover up the time and date here. But then what? They faked the time and the day and time here? They faked this? So if they're able to fake this, then how come they couldn't just fake this up here? Anything to keep the fucking grift going, bro. Anything to keep the grift going. And of course, Candace, she replies to this. There are so many devastating points to the Tyler Robinson narrative, but chief among them is Lance Twiggs testifying that Tyler wasn't political. No, he didn't testify. He didn't. That's not. No, I watched like the whole 20-minute interview, which I'm not. Maybe we could play it here. He said that Lance said that he wasn't political. Lance Twiggs said, I'm not political, but Tyler was. That's in the fucking interview. So what the fuck is she talking about? Didn't even speak to him about LGBTQ issues or gender identity issues, and also alluding to the fact that he is not trans. He goes by Luna, but he says it is not a female identity, likely some gamer or anime stuff. Shut the fuck up. Obviously, the dude was fucking around with that gender bullshit. We saw the fucking Turkey Tom video. He all of a sudden was identifying as a woman. Clearly, that was a phase. I've heard rumors. Somebody said this, and I don't know if this is true, but there's a theory, or I don't know. Somebody's speculating, or they're saying something based on knowledge they have. I don't remember, but basically, Lance Twiggs was not very familiar with Charlie Kirk, which I find that hard to believe. But okay, he was not very familiar with Charlie Kirk until Tyler Robinson assassinated Charlie Kirk, and then Lance went back and started watching Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk basically woke up Lance to like not be trans anymore. It's like Charlie Kirk saved Lance from his trans bullshit. But yeah, he was clearly acting like a trans and being trans. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about, Candace? Oh my God. For months, Satanists have been trying to convince you that Tyler was so motivated by politics and trans ideology that he decided to murder Charlie Kirk for trans viewpoints that Tyler held so dearly. He never even expressed them. His boyfriend. Satanists? What? Until a stunning text message confession after the murder, shown to us via a picture on Lance's phone, which just happens to be smashed in the very corner that would allow us to verify what time these photos were taken. This is all very dangerous. The government is playing a very dangerous game here with this trial. The illusion of democracy and a social contract is being completely evaporated. We're not supposed to know that our government is capable of this level of violence and psychological delusion. We all know that the government's the most violent fucking thing in existence. The governments are responsible for the most deaths in history. Nobody even comes close. What the fuck are we talking about, Candace? That doesn't change the evidence, bro. Breaking. So here we go. Now, what you had on the last day of the trial was you had them, again, they don't want to show the footage to the public because they still have to select a jury for the trial, all that. So they don't want to prejudice a jury with having the footage of Tyler shooting Charlie Kirk. So they played it for like a select group of people inside the courtroom and not for the cameras. So we don't get the footage. It's by the way, we have seen the tail end of the footage because it's the same footage of apparently in higher quality that we saw of Tyler, which I'll play in a second, of Tyler running off the top of the rooftop. It's minutes before that footage where you can actually capture them.
Adina Crad 6306 super
making the
chatted
shot.
$1.41. Satanist. Sir 2008.
Yeah, she just pulled that one out of her ass, didn't she? Yeah, we're all Satanists, dude. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm trying to. I don't know. That's just the logic there. It's like, why are we Satanists? Because we believe government evidence when it's this overwhelming. Oh, you realize it's another comeback. Well, you realize you're on the side of the government, right? Like, okay, that's not an argument. That's not an argument. So yeah, let's see. High quality surveillance video has been shown in court showing Tyler Robinson taking the shot. This is Nick's order. At Charlie Kirk, Robinson is screwed. He's now on his way back to his cage via a heavily armed escort. Press are not allowed to stream the video. Only those in the courtroom, including members of the public and family members, were allowed to see the video. This week was an absolute beatdown for the defense. The death penalty is staring him directly in the eyes. Next hearing is set for September 1st here in Utah. So yeah, we will see the footage at some point, but it won't be till the actual trial. And that looks like that's going to be probably in the winter. So, you know, we got a bit of time to wait here. And if I was to predict, which I did, some of my predictions have been correct. Okay. I predicted that they probably do have him on footage of him taking the shot. You know, I would be very surprised if they didn't. And they do. Okay. The other prediction that I now have is that Tyler will plead guilty if they take the death penalty off the table. So I think they're going to try to work out a deal where, yes, I will plead guilty, but the death penalty has to be taken off the table. And I think that's what's probably going to end up happening. But we'll see. Here's Jack Posobiec talking about what he saw. And by the way, the Candy cult are working so hard. You know, I rated all these as not helpful, but they have the numbers. The Candy cult outnumbers us, which is very fucking scary. And they're going around putting this fucking fact check against every single one of these. And this is incorrect. And I'll explain to you why here in a second. So the footage shown to the court at the end of the day, at the end of day 5 of the preliminary hearing was enhanced. It was zoomed in. It was zoomed in, right? Okay. Which is why the judge refused to show it to the media. I don't think that's not why the judge refused to show it to the media. The judge refused to show it to the media because it would be too fucking bad for Tyler. He wouldn't be able to get a fair trial. It probably would lead to a mistrial if that footage came out. The leading investigator, David Hall, specifically said in his testimony that there is no video of the shooting. Now, this is one of their tricky fucking contextual lies, okay? Because they keep referring, and I'll have the clip in a minute. They keep referring to this clip where he says there's no video of Tyler taking the shot. But what they're conveniently leaving out is what they were discussing there was a specific exhibit, a specific montage of clips of videos that they were trying to very early. I think it was day 1 or 2 of the trial, or day 3. It was very early on in the hearing, and the judge was trying to decide whether that would be acceptable for the cameras to capture, because the judge is really worried about what evidence the cameras can see and what they can't see. Okay. And footage of him taking the shot, they don't want the cameras to see that, because that would fuck up the whole trial. Okay. That would fuck up everything if that footage got out. Okay. So when he said there's no footage, he was talking about that specific exhibit. All right. That specific compilation of videos, and that specific exhibit, which the judge was trying to decide whether the cameras should be able to capture or not, there was no footage. But they don't have any at all. So like, context matters here. And I'll go into more detail on that. But here's Jack Posobiec talking about what he saw.
I think everything's been proven. I think it's...
Anders, you guys play this game all the time, and it's a fucking retarded game. Dude, Jack Posobiec is one of the sketchiest scum. You believe this guy? Bro, if Candace Owens says... I think Candace Owens is one of the sketchiest scum. But if she's right, I'll say, hey, you're right. Okay? So is Jack Posobiec always going to be wrong? No. Is Candace always going to be wrong? No. This is not fucking baseball. This is not a team sport where it's like, well, he's on the other team, so he's always wrong. If you think that way, you're fucking way behind the 8 ball, and you're probably one of the 20% of the illiterate fucks in this country.
I think it's proven.
By the way, it wasn't just Jack Posobiec who saw the video. Tons of people saw the video. And the only people who are denying what was in the video is this one reporter, Brianna something, I'll get to her later, who clearly buys the all the Candace Owens slop and thinks that it was a fucking microphone explosive or whatever the fuck. That's the only person saying, well, the football who's going against this shit is one of the Candy cult members who happened to be there. And I think there's even speculation that she wasn't even in the fucking courtroom at the time, but I don't know. That's hard to make heads or tails of that. But yeah, let's hear. This is him explaining what he saw on the video that a ton of people saw. Okay, but whatever. If you don't want to listen to Jack Posobiec because he's on the wrong team, good. Whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want to do.
I think everything's been proven.
I mean, you guys, it's always the same shit. Oh, you listen to this guy? This guy's bad. You listen to bad guy. Like, bro, I listen to everybody. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, retard.
I think it's proven. I would say beyond probable cause at this point. I think that the question for me is how do you even get reasonable doubt when there's so much evidence? But the thing that I do just have to say is that I know that you guys watching on live stream couldn't see the last video that was shown. Well, it wasn't edited. It was zoomed in. Yeah. It was zoomed in from the surveillance video off campus, and specifically the part of... Oh, stop listening. He's a bad guy. Jack Posobiec, bad guy. Bad guy talking. I can't listen to what he has to say. He's a bad guy.
That's you guys. That's how you behave.
The Losi Center, the roof, and you see everything. You see everything. He climbs over. He assembles the gun. He runs over to the edge.
I literally did, and I literally debunked it. It's bullshit. I literally just did. Are you watching the fucking show, Joe? Or not Joe? Who said that? Who said that? Pink Ron Pollard. Are you watching the show, Ron? I literally started off reading this stupid fucking community note, which obviously Candace, like, the way do you understand how community notes work? Whoever's got the largest votes decide the community note. Candace's fucking little cult is huge. She does hundreds of thousands of live concurrent viewers. She's bigger than God right now. So it's not very hard to put in a community note and have your little cult voted up and end up there. Does that make it right or true? No, it doesn't. Again, I already explained why it's bullshit. Because they're saying at the very end, David Hull specifically said in his testimony that there's no video of the shooting. That's a contextualizing what he said. Because he was talking about a specific fucking exhibit, a specific compilation of videos that they were trying to get approved, that they were giving to the judge, and the judge was trying to make the decision to understand what's on there and whether or not the cameras can see it or not. Okay? So in that specific exhibit, yes, there was no video of the shooting. But I'll play it for you here later. There's other spots in the trial where they do say they have the footage of the shooting. So, but yet, they have the most votes, so they get their little fucking retarded community note, which, by the way, if you're sick of these retards and you're on X, you should go rate this as not helpful because they're lying. And more people are going to believe this bullshit because of this community note.
Gets down in a prone position and you see the time, and
nobody is bigger than God. You understand? It's not meant to be literal, Cracker Barrel.
We all know what time.
God bless you, Cracker Barrel.
And it was like so slow, just watching those seconds, click, 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 and then you see him take the shot, and he takes the shot, and then immediately runs, and we've seen that video already, but. I knew we were going to watch that, but I wasn't prepared to see this side of what happened because we'd never seen it before. We saw the other end of the shot, obviously, but this was a whole other level of just evil, and I got very upset watching it.
So you have the footage at the exact time that Charlie Kirk is shot. You have the guy going on the roof, assembling his rifle, going prone. And at the exact time, we all know the time Charlie Kirk was shot, he does the deed. So there's literally no doubt that you have footage of the guy who murdered Charlie Kirk. I doubt they're gonna fucking doubt that, right? It's too. I mean, maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Maybe they'll say something like, "Oh, we don't know. It was maybe he was just laying down to take a nap." I don't know. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna go, we don't know that's Tyler. How do you know that's Tyler? You can't tell that's Tyler. It's too grainy. It's blah 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 blah. They're already doing that. Which, by the way, you know who it is because they have footage every step of the way. They have him arriving in his car. They have him going up the stairs. They have him going onto the roof. So it's not just that footage. There's other footage where you can see his face, that you can identify who it is that is going on the roof. And so it's like, ugh. But they're going to find some angle to fucking insert doubt here. They really should have, Candace should be his attorney. Candace would be probably a better attorney than that dumb lady who's his attorney now.
And obviously the family was very hard for them to watch. And I looked over and I saw Tyler wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking.
Ron Paul, I'll try this again, Ron Paul, because some of you guys, I don't understand how you don't understand what I'm saying. They have footage of him driving his car and parking it. They have footage of him getting out of his car and going to the stairs. They have footage of him going up the stairs onto the roof. They have so it's not just the footage far away that where you know it's probably too far away to identify his face. No, it's the other footage where they capture him going up the stairs. The footage we've seen already of him going up the stairs. They've tracked him. His first visit to the fucking UVU where he just basically was scouting everything out, left, changed his clothes, came back, did a fucking, came back to do the deed this time. They have all that footage. So it's not just the footage at the end of him taking the shot. They have the footage to identify who he is going up the stairs. That's probably the one that's the most easy to identify him from is the one going up the stairs. And that was something, I mean, I know Lance Twiggs is a shady character, but he looked at that photo and said, yeah, that's Tyler Robinson. His parents, his Discord saw the photo and said, Tyler, like, I think there's a doppelganger. I forgot the exact word, but even his Discord was like, holy shit, I think that's Tyler when they first released the footage, when they were before he turned himself in. So, I mean, what are we doing here? You guys you just so badly want this to not be true. You so badly want these crazy theories to be true that whatever Candace makes up on whatever day, that you just cannot accept what's right in front of your fucking face.
420 super chatted $2. Why is Jack's yarmulke floating?
I mean, it's a new style. It's a futuristic yarmulke. Yeah, this is the new yarmulke that everybody's wearing. I mean, that's funny, dude. Talking about this right here, by the way. That's funny. It's a good one.
I would just say that I do wish. I wish the public could see that. I hope that video is made public.
From my understanding, that could lead to a mistrial. So you don't, if you want to see a conviction, no, we just have to wait till the trial.
Not because I want it to happen. I didn't want any of this to happen. I hate all of this.
By the way, thank you guys for the super chats and the support. If you haven't and you're enjoying the show, smash the thumbs up. Help me reach more people because God knows, I don't get to reach people with my point of view. Now, if I was just sucking Candy's, big black dick, now I'd be getting tons of views. So if you enjoy the show, smash the thumbs up, please.
People need,
and all the good stuff. Links are in the description. Super chats are open if you want to join the conversation. Much love, everybody.
To see what happened. People need to see the other side of this because this is a case. We need to see the truth. We need to see the facts. And it's the video of the sniper taking the shot. It is exactly what you think it would look like, but it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch, probably since when this happened, the first video.
Okay, so there's other people that talk about what they saw here. Let's see, Candace Owens, what's she saying here? No, Blake Sneff, you watch every single episode of my show. Well, let's see what Blake Sneff said. Current situation, Candace is arguing that the footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself in at the Washington County Sheriff's Office is a body double. And the Washington County Sheriff's Office, as well as Orem Police and Utah County prosecutors, are colluding with Zionist influencers to hide the truth. No, Blake Sneff, you watch every single episode of my show, and therefore know exactly what my stance is, so don't play obtuse. Blakey, I do not believe the footage of him turning himself in is a body double. I believe the footage on or around campus of people in similar... we're back to the maroon t-shirts, boys. We're back to the maroon t-shirts. I knew the maroon shit was never going to die. People in similar maroon shirts are all various decoys, and that is the reason that the footage is blurry. My podcast is too big for you to lie about my position. That's another thing I've seen them, now that it's like really fucking getting hard to keep this shit up. Like Ian was doing this, like basically pointing to the size of his audience. Like as if that's proof that he's right because of how big of an audience he's gotten. That's really what they care about, guys. They care about being famous and making money. And it's all of this is worth it if they can just be famous and make money. I've always maintained that Tyler Robinson agreed to go into the police station despite maintaining his innocence. I always agreed no, but you said there was no footage. We just showed that back in, what was this, November of last year. Well, there's no footage of him being at the police. Okay, all right, okay, yeah. Despite maintaining his innocence, because the former undercover officer, Mike Mitchell, told him he had no choice and would otherwise risk SWAT breaking into his home to arrest him, potentially putting his and his family's lives at risk. I never changed my position on this, and thus far there has been zero evidence presented which has disproven me. Bro, he confessed more times than you can fucking, I can remember right now. Like, he confessed a bunch. He confessed on the Discord. He confessed on text. He confessed to his parents. But that's all fake. So that doesn't dispute what you're saying because you consider that fake. What are we talking about? Let's move on. She's so fucking retarded. Here's another fucking retard. I know Alex keeps having him on his show. Alex, please stop having fucking retards on your show. Thank you. Much love.
Coming out of this trial, the obvious takeaway is that the key witness, Lance Twiggs, could have easily done everything that they say that Tyler Robinson did. He also looks exactly like the guy who is in the videos, and we did an AI analysis, and it picked.
Bro, nobody wants me to be on their show, Death Wish. I would. If Death Saul, sorry. I was thinking Death Wish. It's a good Charles Bronson film. Yeah, I'd go on Candace Owens' show and tell all this shit right to her face. She ain't gonna have me on her show.
Lance over Tyler in all.
The only chance I'd have to get on her show is to send her a bunch of anonymous tips, like that Mitch Snow guy, and just make up some bullshit conspiracy that's, can be passed off as somewhat believable to her retard audience. Then that's how I could get on. Maybe I should do that. I should start just making up conspiracies and sending it to the tip line, because that's how she gets the content for her show. She's not some genius investigator. She gets millions of fucking schizophrenic tips, and she's like, ooh, which one's going to make an interesting story that people will click on?
All 6 facial features that it analyzed. But there's another piece of this, aside from the fact that his DNA is on every single piece of evidence, along with Tyler.
Thank you, Wills. Will says I can be on his show. Thank you. Nobody invites me to their fucking shows, man. I'm not big enough, bro. I'm barely hanging on. No one wants a 120 concurrent views podcaster on their show. There's nothing in it for them. They'd rather have this fucking retard, this grifting piece of shit retard on their show, because at least he's got a big audience, because that's all anybody cares about.
Tyler Robinson's. It's that no one is asking themselves, well, what was Lance doing the day that Charlie was killed? And I think everyone missed that part of his testimony for some reason, because he answered that question. His alibi for what he was doing while Charlie was getting shot at UVU.
Bro, Davey was on Tim Pool. I don't know. Did I even play clips of it? Fucking Davey, my boy Davey was on Tim Pool. Everybody's leaving me behind, bro. Everybody's blowing up, and I'm just here getting fucked in the ass by this algorithm.
Is sleeping. So Tyler left at 7 a.m., and according to Lance in his testimony, he woke up at 1 p.m. I noticed that when he said it because I made fun of him about sleeping so late. And then it dawned on me afterwards, wait a minute, he says he woke up at 1 p.m., so he could have just killed the guy. There's no one to verify that he's in bed until 1. That's his alibi? He's asleep till 1?
Yeah, kids his age don't sleep in till 1. Shit, you know how rare it was I was awake before 1 p.m. when I was his age and I didn't have a job. I would stay up playing video games. If I had no work the next day, I would always fuck my schedule up too. Every time. If I had no work the next day, I'd be up all night playing video games. I never want to go to sleep because it's like my night off and I'm going to get as much of it as I can. And I'd fucking wake up at 3 p.m. and then the next day it'd be like, I'd be just dead because I'd have to go to work at 8 or go to school or whatever. But yeah, that's so unbelievable. He woke up at 1 p.m. No, that's actually par for the course for these kids, especially
Just
gamers.
something to think about, you know, in addition to the fact that the handwriting on the note appears to be his, that was supposedly Tyler's. You have the fact that the text messages happened at midnight, which...
Honestly, this is probably the new conspiracy they should... Because like, if you're going to lean into something that might be a legitimate conspiracy, it would be that Lance Twiggs is more involved. I don't know about, Lance Twiggs is actually the one. It wasn't Charlie. It wasn't Tyler. It was actually Lance Twiggs on the roof. Like, that's a little bit of a stretch. But there is, you could lean into a conspiracy of Lance Twiggs actually having way more involvement in this than he's leading on. Like, that's believable. But I don't know if that's going to sell as well as Egyptian planes and the Jewish lobby and all that shit.
Very easily could have been him stealing Tyler's phone and then doing it himself. You also had the Discord logs where he also confessed, supposedly, Lance also has access to the Discord. And, I mean, what else, man? I don't know.
Yeah, but if that was the case, wouldn't Tyler make that his whole defense? Wouldn't Tyler come out and go, hey, and tell his defense, like, I didn't do this, like, somebody wrote, I mean, I don't know, this is a little too much of a stretch.
_ super chatted $4.99. Imagine seeing this freakazoid roll past you in real life. He couldn't wait until he got home.
Oh, it's all about the image, bro. He's out here with his kids. I think he's with his kids. And he's out there spending some good father time with his kids, which is good. Even though you're a grifting retard, you could still be a good father, and I commend that. But yeah, it's image. It's like, like, look, I'm a family man. I'm out here with my kids and blah, 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 blah.
I don't know. I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff. Oh,
there's a couple shots where you can see his kids. The only thing I'd say is you probably should be paying more attention to your kids when you're riding around in a situation where they could get run over by a car, where his kids are just behind him, like he's just completely leaving them behind and recording a video, not even paying attention to them. That's a little weird, but at least he's spending time with his kids.
He attacked his grandparents with a knife, according to sources. I don't know, man. You tell me.
No, you want me to tell you? Okay, I'll tell you. You're a fucking retard. And you look retarded and your shit's all fucked up, okay? Oh, what do we got next here? It looks like Megan might be finally seeing the light. She's held back. Even now, she's holding back from going after Candace. But I don't know. I think at some point, her credibility is going to be on the line. And she's going to have to distance herself from that retardation.
The evidence against Robinson is overwhelming. And I realize a lot of people don't believe it for whatever. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they don't believe it. But a jury is more than likely to believe it because in courtrooms where I'm from, we operate within the bounds of evidentiary rules. And all we care about is what is admissible and what isn't. And all the stuff around like conspiracy theories and so on around this.
He never showed what he was riding, collar tie. It looked like probably one of those, like somebody called it a Segway, maybe one of those like electric skateboards or something like that. I don't think it looked like a skateboard situation. I don't think it was rollerblades. It looked like he was kind of sideways. So it's probably a skateboard situation, some sort of electric skateboard or something like that. I don't know, whatever they call it.
It's not admissible. And to those
in Pink Trip, I sent your Alex Jones versus Bill Gates video to a girl I've known since middle school who got blood cancer after the injection. Oh, sorry to hear that, dude. Oh, this is pretty sketchy, bro. Pretty sketchy. All the people getting cancer. They got their boosters and shit. I wonder if there's a connection there.
Who still have their doubts about Tyler Robinson, I say it's time to put up or shut up. You can either you have evidence that you can introduce under the federal rules of evidence or the state rules out in Utah, which mirror the feds, or you don't. And if you don't, I don't want to keep talking about your theory because it's irrelevant. And all that's relevant is what you can prove. It's like the famous line from A Few Good Men.
I mean, she's clearly talking. Who else is she talking about other than Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, the candy cult? But she won't say the name. She's trying to have her cake and eat it too.
It doesn't matter what I believe. It only matters what I can prove. That's where we are. And there is overwhelming evidence by that standard that Tyler Robinson committed this crime, that he was the trigger man.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, SoundX Phonetic. She could do to gain about 10 pounds. Okay? Because here's the thing about being like when you're like a young chick that's like this skinny, she can look good. But once you get to a certain age, being too skinny is actually kind of bad. So she could put on another 10 pounds, maybe 15. She'd still be hot.
20 super chatted $2. Megan reminds me of Sarah Connor in T2 So Fire.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. She got to get her muscle game up, though. She's got to get a little more ripped.
Whether he had people who knew about it and or were rooting for it prior to the fact is of interest to me as well. And that remains unsatisfied, the curiosity over that issue. But he is going to be held over for trial. And I believe, unless there is a jury nullification issue, in other words, somehow you get a juror on there who just won't vote to convict for whatever reason, he'll be convicted and he will likely be sentenced to death. And
Bro, what happens if you get a candy cultist in there in the jury? That's gonna be interesting.
Won't shed one tear.
All right.
The evidence.
We might be seeing a Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly catfight coming soon. I'm here for that. Candace Owens, the evidence is overwhelming. Campaign has begun. Not a campaign. It just is. It's a fact of life. The evidence is fucking overwhelming, Candace. This is also pathetic and obvious. An utter disaster of a non-existent case. It's a non-existent case where the guy confesses multiple times. They have his DNA on the weapon. They have his DNA at the crime scene. They have, they have everything you'd ever need to get a conviction, but it's a non-existent case. Okay, cannot wait to be back on air on Monday. Yeah, so you can make all that grifting bucks. So here's the footage we've already seen. Right, this is what came out very early. So essentially, what we have is, I don't know if it's this same camera, but it's UVU has cameras on every building like this. So essentially, it's like 2 or 3. It starts 2 or 3 minutes before this. The footage that they said they saw that shows, and I'm assuming it's like zoomed in to where he's prone, taking the shot over here somewhere. But yeah, this is the footage, and the quality is supposed to be better than this, by the way. Yeah, this is the footage we've all already seen where he runs and jumps off. This is the one where Ian tried to argue. Well, you can't see a gun. There's no gun there. What are you talking about? If I can zoom this in. There are points where it looks like he's carrying something. Things a little. Let's see. Come on, stop jumping, fuckhead. Or I think they changed the camera angle. Jesus, can we here you go. There he is. Yeah, it looks like he could have something. Supposedly it's under a blanket. You can kind of see the blanket there for a second here. This is getting hard because they keep changing camera angle on me. Yeah, so it's this footage, but from, they clearly cut off the part that would show him taking the shot. So yeah, that's basically where we think the footage comes from, and I think Pasoba kind of confirms that. Here's Sarah Fields. If they have this, do you honestly think the footage just magically starts after the shot was taken? That's what I said too months ago. I said, look, if they have this, they probably have him taking the shot. They're just not showing us that yet. But yeah, this is the same footage we've seen already. They have already said they also have other angles. My God, the complete lack of critical thinking is genuinely disturbing. Here's Benny Johnson calling out the retards.
Come back into September.
Oh, gay Benny. Nothing wrong with it, by the way.
Yes, absolutely, Kevin. This has been an overwhelming and demonstrable evidentiary bombshell for the prosecution. We've never seen anything like it. I have never seen more of a devastating case. My question to anybody doubting at this point if Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk is, what more do you need? The medical examiner said that Charlie Kirk, my friend, was killed with a .30-06 soft hollow point bullet to the neck. That is what killed Charlie. Not an exploding microphone, not an Egyptian plane, not an Israeli assassin team. What else do you need? Well, you have the evidence of DNA of Tyler Robinson on the murder weapon. Now we have Tyler Robinson confessing multiple times in the court in his own messages, in notes that were left from his family, notes that were sent to Lance Twiggs, that he committed the murder. Then Lance Twiggs confessed inside of the court that this is something that Tyler Robinson had remorse over when he asked him, did you do it? Lance Twiggs then said all of the messages from Tyler Robinson were authentic and that he sent them. His parents turned him in, and he confessed again to law enforcement. Today, we saw high-definition footage of Tyler Robinson stalking Charlie Kirk around the campus, a campus he didn't attend, following him in 4 separate visits, scaling the rooftop, and then getting into a sniper-prone position at 12:22 p.m. Then he took the shot at 12:23 p.m. And the courtroom gasped when we saw that extended footage today that was specially shown to the victim's family.
Isn't it weird that they're all coming out and having the same story? Oh, it's almost like they coordinated. No, it's almost like they all saw the same video and are describing what they saw.
So this is a case that needs to be brought swiftly. I come with a message. We have a constitutional right to a speedy trial in this nation. We should give that right to the Kirk family, who has already been visited an enormous amount of harassment and attacks, and we must get justice in this trial swiftly.
I couldn't have said it better. I think there are a lot of people who would say no matter how you feel about how we ended up here, this should be a speedy process. The defendant and obviously the prosecutors are obviously positioned well at this point. They've had time to prepare.
Jay Sludge says, how did he get from the red shirt, blue jeans to all black? He changed his clothes, Jay Sludge. He showed up to case the joint, to do his reconnaissance, and then he left. Changed clothes. Apparently he didn't change his sneakers, though. He changed his hat, put on a pair of glasses, changed his shirt and his pants, and came back in different clothes, which, I mean, clearly he was trying to outsmart everybody. It just didn't really work.
Let's get this thing moving. That seems to be the consensus here, Benny. I think you're speaking from the perspective of a lot of people who've been watching this already, and we'll see how things plan out or play.
Problem is, he showed up in the same vehicle. And that's all on camera as well. Him parking and all that. Like, they got the vehicle.
Out that is in the days and weeks ahead. As always, I certainly appreciate your time tonight. Godspeed. Be safe out there. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Yeah, Joe Budda, they're not just ignoring that. They're ignoring that he confessed multiple times. And then they had this bogus story that somebody, I think Manda was saying earlier, that like, oh, that there's no way the Discord stuff is true because the Discord messages are after he already turned himself in. That's been debunked. That's bullshit. Like, it's just, there's always some new thing you have to debunk. Every day they come up with some new angle that you have to debunk. And the problem is, if the only people you're listening to are the Candy Cult, you're never going to realize it was debunked. You got to go outside of the Candy Cult, find the people debunking it, right? So that you can see both sides. Because if all you're listening to is the Candy Cult, you're never going to see the other side. They're going to move on to the next conspiracy and the next conspiracy, and they're never going to address the conspiracy from last week that was proven wrong.
Great Benny Johnson for us tonight.
The man on the left is not black? How dare you? How dare you? Here's Benny Johnson. Or Brandon. Yeah, here's this Brandon. She's, by the way, confirmed Candy Cult. She's all about the fucking exploding microphone. And yeah, she's a journalist. I guess there are Candy cultists who are also journalists, alleged journalists. I was in the courtroom today. There is no high quality zoomed in footage showing anyone taking a shot. That's just a lie. That's just a lie. The video shown is the same distance as the footage of Tyler jumping off the roof shown in this screenshot. Okay, so because I don't think they'd be satisfied unless Tyler literally took a fucking selfie. Like right after he took the shot, he stopped and just like took a selfie of himself. That'd be the only way. Even then, they'd be like, "Well, why would he take a selfie of himself? Oh, this just reeks of being fake and gay. Like, who would take a selfie of himself? Like, there's nothing that's gonna ever work for these people because they've staked their credibility with this bullshit, and they're gonna fucking go down swinging. They're not gonna give up because they know as soon as this shit is proven to be just a bunch of bullshit, their credibility is fucking done." So they have a huge incentive to continue doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. Benny Johnson says, we were in the same courtroom. I was at the Charlie Kirk murder trial in Provo, Utah, where Judge Tony Graff called for the attorney for the victim to play a video described as high-definition enhanced version of the security cameras. Multiple new clips, zoom-ins, and red circle enhancements in this video. It showed clear images of Tyler Robinson's Dodge Challenger, license plate, hubcaps, clothing, movements around campus, and multiple visits as he stalked Charlie. Climbing onto the rooftop, lumbering across the rooftop, laying in a prone sniper position on the Losey rooftop at 12:22 p.m., taking a shot at 12:23 p.m., and fleeing the crime scene. It was so compelling the entire room gasped as the Kirks wept bitterly in the front row and Tyler Robinson looked at the ground. Multiple corporate media reporters in the room described the same video and scene. Did you camp out all night in your sleeping bag just to miss this critical moment? Or perhaps there's another reason you're not being honest. Yeah, she's a candy cultist. It's part of the candy cult. And Jimmy Dore, God, man. Look, I'm not going to not stop liking Jimmy because Jimmy's done good work in the past. But again, Jimmy, just wake the fuck up, dude. Jimmy Dore. Millions of people watched and liked it when Rachel Maddow lied for years about Russiagate. The same thing that is happening with Brain Dead Wright and Tyler Robinson. Yes, Jimmy, you did good reporting on the Russiagate shit. Okay? But nobody bats 1,000. And you've lost the plot with this. And you need to wake the fuck up, Jimmy. The same thing is happening with the Brain Dead Wright and Tyler Robinson. They want Jack Posobiec to lie and say a video exists of the shooting, so he does. And they love it. There is no video of the shooting, zoomed in or even blurry as the testimony from the court reveals. So this is, okay, this is the bullshit where they're playing this out of context and making it seem like the prosecution is saying that there is overall completely no footage of Robinson taking the shot, when the actual context of this is about a specific exhibit, including a specific compilation of videos. And in that specific exhibit, it did not include the footage that they just explained watching. Okay? So again, bending context to basically lie. Maybe Jimmy's falling for this stupid shit.
Is there any footage of the alleged shooting?
There is not, Judge.
Okay, I just want to clarify that.
Okay. In the specific exhibit, I forget the name of the exhibit, but exhibit is like one piece of evidence, and that piece of evidence is a compilation of videos. And in that specific compilation, they did not have that footage in there. Okay? Not overall. That doesn't mean they don't have it at all. Just in that specific compilation, right? Like imagine a videotape or a CD with a compilation. But another CD has the footage of the shot, but this one doesn't. Okay? And they're both being entered separately into the fucking evidence.
Nestor, given that additional information and anything further from defense?
No, but I think I'd like to be crystal clear.
And it's so crazy how the defense doesn't want anybody to see the footage. Why? I mean, why would the defense not want anybody to see the evidence? Because the evidence is so fucking damning to Tyler Robinson. That's why.
You asked if there's any portion of this video that captures, and I believe you asked of the actual shooting. There's no video of that. There is video, however, and you've heard testimony related to this, where the shooter goes to the top of the low-C building, goes out to the edge of the building, low crawls, and then leaves after what we assume is the shot being fired. That's as close as it gets.
And again, it's very easy out of context to misunderstand that. I think we do have the full context in a second, though. Liz Wheeler, she jumps ahead of this because she knows that. Everybody that knows, because I remember watching this. I remember at the moment watching it and knowing that they were talking about that specific exhibit. But no, you clip it out of context, and now it means something totally else, totally different. Which people that know my history of videos I've made should understand how that works. It's not very difficult to do. Liz Wheeler, you're about to see massive fake news about an out-of-context quote from the Tyler Robinson hearing. Here's the truth. The prosecution did not say that they don't have video footage of Tyler Robinson firing the shot that killed Charlie Kirk. What actually happened? The prosecution was asked if the compilation video that was released to the media today showing Tyler Robinson on campus 4 times on 9/10 included footage of Robinson firing the shot, which the prosecution answered no. Very big difference. Nonetheless, you're about to hear, oh my God, the prosecution doesn't have video of the shot. I wonder why. Israel, Erica Fetzlop. Peddled by the liars who want you to buy their evil, baseless, false allegations, and so you need to ignore the truth. Be forewarned. Here's another guy. To the liar saying the video doesn't show anything. Okay, here's a guy who also saw the video.
Okay, let me start off. This person is a part of Candace cult. She's an idiot. along with all of these other people that are now saying that the video did not show what we all say it shows. It's because they live under this concept that that person is not Tyler Robinson. The video zoomed in clearly shows the individual getting into the prone position, the timestamps of exactly when Charlie was shot, that individual taking the shot, getting up, running off, jumping off the thing. These are the same people that are spreading the lie that the prosecution has no video evidence of the person taking the shot, when they took an out of context clip and where the judge was simply asking, is there any footage of someone taking a shot, because he wanted to be able to alert the family members. People like this person cannot be trusted. They work with Candace Owens. They believe Candace Owens is the head witch of the coven. These people are no different. They're brain dead. They're lying to you because their lies are all falling apart in real time. So they're making their money while they can. The video will come out. None of us are afraid of it coming out. This person will be.
Yeah, but they got 3 months to continue grifting. I don't know. I don't think their grift's ever going to end, bro. And if it does, they'll just move on to another conspiracy. They'll never mention, like, just one day it'll be, you know, a whole new conspiracy outside the Charlie Kirk realm, and they'll just, it's amazing how they do it. It's really, you know, it's impressive in a way. Here's Jack Posobiec responding to all the people saying, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. Nobody's going to tell me that I didn't see what I saw.
Of course, people now who, you know, are going around saying that, oh, you know, Jack, you didn't see what you saw in the courtroom. You didn't see that video. You didn't see what was on there. Blah, blah, blah. You didn't see this. I'm like, no one is going to tell me that I didn't see what I saw. So let's just leave it right there. That's number one. No one is going to tell me that I didn't see what I saw. Okay. And I have enough training, experience, and background with firearms to know that when you see a man who is in a prone firing position, take that position, aim, then flinch, then get up, an entire body flinches, then get up and run away, I know that means a shot was just fired. I think a 5-year-old would know what that means. So no, I'm not going to play this game of being like, whoa, you know, no, we're not going to play that game. And there are other people who saw it as well. Local news is saying they saw it. So please, we're not going to play that game.
Well, seems like you're already kind of playing it because unfortunately, you know, the thing that happens is like this gets 400 views, 400 likes, 132K reach, whatever. But Candace's shit, I see it every time. The conspiracy bullshit, the conspiracy Ian, whatever fuckface retard, whatever his last name is, Candace Owens, their conspiracy slop bullshit. It's like 100 to 1. It gets 100 times the views of anybody that tries to debunk it. Again, I got conspiracies too. I think the algorithms are pushing this shit because they're sympathetic to the left. Because most of the people running these and in charge of the algorithms are leftists. And they don't want the story to be, man, the left is fucking violent and murdering. They murdered Charlie Kirk for just because they don't like what he had to say. What's this happening? They don't want that to be what we talk about. No, anything else but that. Let's see what we got here. Why do you blatantly lie, Ian? They had to clip it for the preliminary hearing because it was too prejudicial. I mean, am I saying that right? What the fuck? What are they replying to here? Why are they not answering the question? Genuine question. Once the video is released and it clearly shows the shooter firing the shot, we already saw the video. So Ian's assuming that it's the same video we already saw. That, by the way, is a much lower quality than the quality they had in court. It's not. It's that video, but extended to include the shooting. Why do you blatantly lie, Ian? They had to clip it for the preliminary hearing because it was too prejudicial. The state already informed the court they have Tyler on video taking the shot back in May. All of the raw video was admitted in the evidence. So here is the state, the prosecutors, admitting that they have this footage of him taking the shot. Case closed.
So let me give you a proffer of what the evidence will be at the preliminary hearing. There's really 4 categories of evidence. The first is surveillance from UVU. Now, there's
Beach Mongoose. I might have explained this before and you missed it. We don't have the footage because that footage is, like I said, too prejudicial. Whatever that fucking term is. Basically, it'll make it hard. It'll taint the jury pool, and it will make it hard to give Tyler Robinson a fair trial. So the judge himself made the decision not to have that video filmed by the cameras or made public. It was only allowed by the family and like certain journalists to actually, the people in the court to actually watch the video. But we're not going to get it until the trial happens because they don't want to spoil the fucking trial. If that's too hard to understand, I don't know what else to tell you.
And they captured the defendant coming on to campus at about 7 a.m.
At Hypnaudio stream
What's
super
up,
chatted
Hypnaudio?
$1.99. Prejudicial. Pork chop money.
Prejudicial. Yeah, I had a nice big fat pork chop right before the show. So thank you, brother.
And they captured the defendant coming on to campus at about 7 a.m. or I think about 8 a.m. Okay, it's clearly him. He's driving his gray Dodge Charger. I should say he's from St. George.
By the way, this is left ear only. I think whoever recorded this, it's if you're not hearing it, make sure you got your left ear in.
So this isn't just a casual passing by Utah Valley University. This is a 3.5-hour drive from his home, 250 plus miles from his home. They captured his car pulling into the Utah Valley University parking structure. He gets out of the car. He's wearing his favorite Hurley hat, a maroon T-shirt, shorts, and Converse shoes. The same clothing he's wearing when he turns himself in the next day. Clearly him. There's good facial images and everything. He walks around campus and he scouts campus out. He then leaves the campus. UVU surveillance then captures him return later. He returns on foot right before the Charlie Kirk event. He's wearing...
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Prejudicial.
Hey, British robot voice. He did a pretty good job on that one. It's prejudicial.
A disguise of sorts.
Thank you,
He's wearing
Metal.
a baseball cap, different baseball cap, pulled low. He's got sunglasses on, a different shirt, different pants, but the same Converse shoes. But he makes his way to the rooftop. Makes his way to the sniper's perch on the rooftop, takes the shot, and then runs to the northeast, drops off the building, and runs to the northeast of campus.
They have him taking the shot. This is what he's explaining the footage they have of him. So, again, the other thing they keep pointing to that they've successfully gotten a fucking community note for because they're able to fucking brigade it with their numbers is bullshit. They were talking about that specific exhibit when he said there's no footage of him taking the shot. In this specific exhibit, that's the context. Here he is explaining all the footage they have.
Into a wooded area.
Listen.
He's got sunglasses on, a different shirt, different pants, but the same Converse shoes. But he makes his way to the rooftop, makes his way to the sniper's perch on the rooftop, takes the shot, and then runs to the northeast, drops off the building, and runs to the northeast of campus into a wooded area. That's all captured on video. Okay, that's the first category of evidence, is the video surveillance that shows the defendant on campus taking the shot.
So, yeah. But we'll ignore that, right? Anyway, I'm glad she posted that. Because, I mean, it's like 5 days of like 8+ hours of footage. I mean, it's a lot of footage. Not everybody caught everything. So, yeah, we already saw this. This is a Brandy cult member denying reality. Here's another person. Some individuals have over-exaggerated the clarity of the video. The video we were shown was visually clearer, lightly zoomed, and showed an expanded shot of the roof, especially on the left side of the video below. The video we saw today in court clearly shows Tyler going up the stairs, hopping the railing, getting onto the roof, finding his position and going prone before getting up and running at exactly when the shot occurs, as corroborated by the time shown on the video. In the video, we saw details such as Tyler's phone in his pocket were much clearer to see and will likely be made more relevant in the real trial. By the way, this is not the real trial. This is a preliminary hearing to decide whether the trial goes forward or not. I lost my fucking place here. Lastly, the video showed Tyler's movements at multiple times during the days and in multiple outfits, and includes his movement into the woods after jumping from the roof. Hope this clears up any confusion. I don't think anyone is being intentionally dishonest. She is. She clearly fucking is. I don't think anyone is being intentionally dishonest, only making statements that are maximalist or minimalist based on the underlying assumptions that they agree or disagree. El Jefe with the 10 gifted members. Oh yeah, let's have a 10 gifted party. A 10 gifted party. A 10 gifted party. Thank you, dude. Hope you've been good, El Jefe. Hope you're doing good, brother. Welcome. All the new members. SoundX Phonetic got one. Hell yeah. It's nice to see a regular old school viewer get one. Here we are. Go. Thank you, El Jefe. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate the support, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, memberships are open, guys. If you want to support the show, it's much appreciated. I personally don't think there's any debate to be had. It seems overwhelmingly clear that it is Tyler Robinson as identified by Lance Twiggs. And the video very, very clearly shows his movements up to, including, and after the shooting. This video made that whole chain of events abundantly clear. Okay, you guys got at least 3 months to keep grifting off of this shit before it all comes crashing down and you got to move on to your next grift. Here's Jack Pacific. As far as I could tell, the new footage is the same angle. It just starts a few minutes prior to this one. It includes the run to the ledge, prone position, the shot, and then starts here. Okay, just to clarify. You guys want to hear some more of Nick talking more shit? They had a video of Tyler Robinson taking the shot at Charlie Kirk the entire time after 10 months of conspiracy theories. Nick Fuentes predicts when the video releases, they will say it's AI. They'll find some angle, bro. They'll find some angle to keep the grift going.
10 months! 10 months!
Thank you, El Jefe.
Of Egyptian planes,
thank you, brother.
Maroon shirts, energy weapons,
welcome all the new
pistols,
members. You guys
hand
rock.
signals. What about that guy that got up and said he shot Charlie? A 30-06 could never do that. That's not the entry wound. That's the exit wound. He was shot from behind. 10 months. 10 months of this. And you're telling me the entire time they had a video of him doing it? This whole time, ever since September 10th, the prosecution had a video?
And again, I called it. It's not surprising that they did. I expected them to have that. And El Jefe, I completely agree. I wish I could pick who got them. They should give you a choice, right? When you decide to gift memberships, it should be like random, or you can pick each person that gets a membership. I don't know why they don't add that feature. I bet you at some point they will.
Of Tyler Robinson climbing to the roof, taking the shot, taking apart the rifle, and going away. According to people who were at the hearing.
No one. Are you trying to say the people running this Charlie Kirk assassination conspiracy slop grift are not making profit from it? Ooh. You're kind of naive, Ron. They're making a fucking killing, bro. They're making life-changing money, Ron.
They say that is exactly what the video shows. Now, you would think that all of this evidence would put the case to rest, right? Charlie Kirk was struck in the neck, died instantly, 1 shot, 1 kill, 1 entry wound, no exit wound. We got the murder weapon. We have the killer's DNA on it. We got video of him placing him at the campus, video of him pulling the trigger. He confessed. His parents turned him in. The boyfriend testified he confessed. We got text messages, Discord messages, a written note. You would think that would be enough, but rest assured, here's how it's going to go. Today, the conspiracy crowd says that video is not as described. We have not seen the video. We don't believe what you're saying about what the video shows. So what happens when the video comes out? Now, like I said, I'm withholding judgment. We haven't seen it. We don't know. This is how it's been related and represented to us by people that have seen it firsthand. But if or when this video is revealed to the public and it shows precisely what people said it did, are people going to put this to bed and say, it's over, Tyler Robinson's a killer, case closed? I think they'll just say it's AI. As that's how all the other evidence has been treated so far. If we have video of Tyler Robinson on the scene, those were decoys. If we find DNA on the rifle, they say it's fake. The methodology's flawed. If we have a text confession, well, why did they take a screenshot of it? Oh, they have the data? Well, the software to retrieve the data came from Israel. And why would he confess anyway? Would you confess? I don't know. I'm not a 19-year-old that assassinates a Turning Point guy. Maybe. That's how all the other evidence has been treated.
Apparently, Tyler Robinson is actually a pretty intelligent guy, but I think he's on the spectrum in some way. I think he's one of those guys that's like, you know, straight A's, 4.0 GPA, but like still kind of socially lacking. You know what I'm talking about. You know the types. They're super intelligent. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to have a fucking very high level job that takes a high level of intelligence, but they can barely tie their fucking shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have, they're missing levels of common sense that people who have lower IQs, but they have more common sense. Like there's a trade-off there.
So what do you think is going to happen when we finally get the video of Tyler Robinson shooting Charlie Kirk, as we all know he did? Oh, they'll just say it's fake too. That's fake. Are we sure it's him? That doesn't really look like him. It's grainy. It's a decoy. It's a body double. It's artificial intelligence.
It's a maroon t-shirt.
But it is truly mind-blowing that it has gotten this far. People pulling on every...
At Metal2JS420 super chatted $2. Does anyone else like the Goodbye Horses song?
Did I hear? That sounds familiar, bro. Where is that a real song or a meme or something? Goodbye Horses. I don't know, man. I think I do. If I'm thinking of the song, if my memory's right, I do like that song.
Thread, exhausting literally supernatural explanations. We literally arrived at time travel and magical powers and the astral realm. Not exaggerating. Those are all things that were said with complete sincerity. Before people would just say, yeah, a left-wing teenager, a left-wing autistic teenager.
From my understanding, Ron Paul or die, after he found that letter that Tyler left for him under his keyboard, Lance texted Tyler. So Lance initiated the text.
Shot a right-wing activist.
If I remember right.
Like, that's the craziest thing. Oh, it's a big coincidence. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of happening all the time.
So yeah, I mean, again, it's not surprising they have footage of it. Here's more from Phoenix Ammunition. The jacket is peeled all the way down to the base. There is no way to get barrel grooves. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing that they've been saying forever. Friendly reminder, they have the entire jacket. They could easily match the grooves, but they have the wrong gun, so for the state to avoid looking like complete morons, it's inconclusive. So the normies on the jury go, well, there's still a chance when in reality it's not possible. I mean, this one's not even as bad as the ones before, which were people just saying that it's confirmed now that the bullet doesn't match the gun. But it's like, no, it's that the bullet is fucking destroyed and they can't match it to anything. And here's Phoenix Ammunition going in on this. The jacket is peeled all the way down to the base. There is no way to get barrel grooves off that twisted piece of metal if it's stretched and altered. Even if you could twist the pieces back in place, they won't line up exactly, and it would never be admissible in court. You watch too much CSI. That's not how this stuff works. Oh, I learned everything I know from CSI. The evidence is overwhelming that Candace Owens has been right about absolutely everything. You see what I'm saying? The fucking candy cult is they're never gonna... As soon as it becomes like too hard they're going to do just like they did with the Egyptian planes. Okay. As soon as it's just clearly fucking just debunked, they're going to have another episode and a whole new story, whether it's a whole new conspiracy grift, whether she's going to go back to, the whatever Macron, or she'll go back to Macron. She'll have a whole new conspiracy like that one. They'll move on and they'll never mention all the shit that they were wrong about. So, Candace Owens, it's literally overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. You're a fucking retard. Watch Megyn Kelly confronted with the reality of the insanity of Candace Owens and the harm she's caused for Erica Kirk, the Kirk family, and the prosecution. And Kelly still defends her and her theories about Israel's alleged involvement in Charlie Kirk's death.
I've seen some insane things on the internet, mostly championed by Candace Owens.
Bro, the amount of times I see Megyn Kelly and I gotta look up how old she is because it's hard to believe. How old is Megyn Kelly again? 55. Okay. She ain't hit the wall yet, but she's getting real fucking close, bro.
That
she ain't got much time left. So if you want to get in on the, you want to get it in, you better move quick. Is she married, Megyn Kelly? Is Megyn Kelly married? Let's see what we can find here. No, Megyn Kelly is not single. She has been married to... She's married to a dude named Douglas Brunt, author, novelist, and podcaster since March of 2008. That's over 18 years. Okay, they're going to get divorced soon. So eventually, there's no way. I mean, no one stays married for that long anymore. 18 years, it's probably any second now she's going to be getting a divorce. So be ready, dudes, because we got limited time. I'm just kidding. I tease. I kid.
It is so loony tinfoil hat.
Congrats to Douglas Brunt, though. You got a good one there.
Out there, and I think that's hard on the victim's family. So I also want to commend the prosecution for going through this, even though it's 5 days, because it really does change the public discourse on it. We're about to separate those that are open-minded to other defense theories from the actual lunatics.
I mean, I don't agree with Candace's theory of this case, but I have to say, I genuinely believe she was traumatized by watching her friend die. I can relate to it. And
okay, so now she's a victim. She's a victim.
I think she's in earnest, and
But
I think
Ron Paul Lordy
she
super
just
chatted $5. Thanks for entertaining my arguments.
Yeah, no problem.
By the way, CNN showed the towers blew up before the second plane even hit. Bottom left-hand corner, every 9 seconds.
CNN showed the towers blow up before the second plane even hit. Bottom left hand. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I know there was like a lot of weird discrepancies. Wasn't there something with Building 7 as well? I forget, dude. I don't know. I gotta go back and watch all the conspiracy theories on 9/11. It's just, I have a thing where like I can watch something and then like it just doesn't stay in my brain anymore.
Trust authority.
Thank you for the 5, Ron Paul or die. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm down to voting for Ron Paul. He just might be a little too old at this point.
I don't agree with her again, Matt, but I just like, and I know people have very strong feelings about her. I think she's in her own search for what she believes happened here, and she has zero trust in official words on anything.
She's making
zero.
Yeah.
I'm not quite that cynical.
She's making it harder
yet.
for Erica Kirk and the entire Kirk family. She's also making things harder on the prosecution. And look, I don't know her. I've never appeared in front of her. I got nothing against her. I got no axe to grind. But she is making things harder for the good guys on this. And Erica Kirk asked her to stop with the stuff, and she said she would. And then Erica Kirk asked her, I think, twice, and she's continued. She's quadrupled down on it, and she sounds insane to me. And again, I don't know her. I would debate her anytime on some of this stuff because it's insane. Like Israel didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Sorry, they just didn't. This is a murder case. It's a death penalty case. This is what they look like. This is what killers sound like. This is how these things actually occur in reality.
I mean, if we're going to go down this lane, then we can go down this lane because it was Andrew Colvett of Turning Point who turned over to the FBI Charlie's criticisms of his Jewish donors and his threats to leave the pro-Israel cause right before he was murdered. That was Turning Point, and I love Andrew Colvett, and he did that because he's an honest guy, and he said, you know what? They should investigate everything. They should investigate who else had an axe to grind with Charlie and who else might be motivated. He's not some conspiracy theorist. Like, why? I was told this myself, and it's now been reported by her and others, that there were at least 11, there's a difference in 11 versus 14, Israel-only cell phones on the campus of UVU that day. Like, not from Israeli citizens. In other words, accounts opened in Israel. And the NSA knew that shit within 2 minutes because they locked those scenes down and they can tell you exactly what cell phones were on scene. You should not be saying to her or anybody else, you're not allowed to ask that question.
Nobody's fucking saying that. Nobody's saying this is the comeback I keep hearing. Why do they keep telling us to stop asking questions? No one's telling you to stop asking questions. We're just responding to your stupid fucking theories and saying that is stupid and it's easily debunked. Go ahead, keep asking questions. Keep giving stupid theories if that's what you want to do. All we're doing is responding to your stupid fucking theories and saying, that's bullshit, and here's why. No one's saying, you have to stop asking questions. No, we're just saying, hey, that thing you said about Egyptian planes, that's bullshit. Hey, that thing about maroon t-shirts being a military color, you realize like every fucking color is a military color, right? What are we talking about? I mean, it's just on and on and on and on. Whenever once did I say, or I've seen anybody say, you have to stop asking questions. That's just a fucking cop-out.
And it doesn't necessarily make them a nutcase to not trust the official government narrative.
No, they're not nutcases. They're grifters. They're grifters that are fucking taking advantage of the situation to enrich themselves. New, Megyn Kelly, to those who still have their doubts about Tyler Robinson, I say it's time to put up or shut up. Either you have evidence that you can introduce or you don't. And if you don't, I don't want to keep talking about your theory because it's irrelevant. I think we played that one earlier. What's this one?
Look, guys, I'm not gonna mince words. All right, I'm gonna be blunt because it deserves it, and I'm just gonna say what it was. You see him shooting Charlie. You see him executing Charlie. You see him take the shot, and so you've seen the video. And Blake, I know you were there, man. And it was like watching Charlie die all over again, seeing this video. It's the most damning thing I've seen all week for Tyler Robinson. With the zoom in, it just changes everything. It's like watching a completely different video, because the one that zoomed out, you can't even see anything. This one, he walks up. It's just like the officer said earlier in the. I guess it was day one, that he walks up over the guardrail, goes down, and you could see him kind of working on something, and it's I believe that's when he was assembling the rifle. He then stands up. He runs very quickly across the gravel roof to the edge, and then when he gets to the edge, you see him go down, and he's in the prone position, and it's. They have this clock, like the timestamp that's up, and it's 12:20. I think it's 12:21, 12:22 when he first gets there, and I'm just sitting there like, stop the clock, like don't, like trying.
By the way, huge fucking mistake. Like that is something that's suspicious. You just left a rooftop just open to anybody that could climb up to it and get a perfect shot on fucking Charlie Kirk. Like, that's suspicious. How did that happen? How did you not fucking have a plan to like secure all the rooftops? Apparently, Turning Point USA security thought that the universities were going to take care of that. It's the same thing like with Trump and Butler, where it's like, oh, the Secret Service thought the police were going to take care of it, but the police thought the Secret Service were going to take care. So that is suspicious, and that is something that's like worth getting to the bottom of. Why did we just leave? Like, what are you even trying to protect them? Like, obviously, the first thing you'd want to worry about is not just the crowd, but all the fucking rooftops. So again, it's like a complete failure that is very suspicious.
Will time to stop. Like, don't get to 12:23. Like, just don't get to 12:23. And he gets to 12:23, and you see him take the shot, and he gets back up, and then he runs across, and you've seen the end of it already, where he makes the jump, but it's all there. It's all there. It's on video. It all lines up, and I got very, very angry. Watching.
All right, I think we've already heard Jack talk about this enough. We got it, Jack. Thank you. Here's how much Baron Coleman is making. Okay. I don't know if this is like what's that website everybody uses, where it's kind of like a rough estimation. But look, dude, you start paying somebody this much money, they're gonna keep pushing that free money button. It's like, oh, if I just talk about this conspiracy, and all of a sudden I'm making $5,000 for like probably like me, probably does 2 hours, or maybe 3, maybe 4. And he's made $15,000 in the last 7 days. And that's just, who knows what other deals he's got going on. You start giving people this many views to where they're making this much money, they're going to keep they're going to keep pushing that free money button over and over again until it fucking runs dry. And that's what's happening here. That's the reality of it. So yeah, I mean, that's good money. $5,000 an episode, 15,000 in 7 days. That's 15 times 4, 45,000 plus 3 more days. I mean, they're probably 50,000 a fucking month at least. And all you got to do is just keep this conspiracy going as long as possible and constantly have a new conspiracy and some new angle to keep people interested. I mean, fuck, dude. This is what it's about. This is the motive. This is the motivation. They're not just wrong. They're not just asking questions. They're grifting. Okay? That's the motivation. Nick Fuentes calls out Charlie Kirk conspiracy theory nonsense for what it is. Mass psychosis. Yeah, it is. It's exactly right.
And it would be funny if it wasn't sad. It would be funny if it wasn't sad and depressing and sick and depraved. And like I said earlier, this is actually the clearest cut case I've ever seen of mass psychosis and mass hysteria. This is groupthink. That's all that is. It's not like there's any new evidence today that we didn't have on September 10th from the conspiracy side. None of that stuff ever really made any sense. None of that stuff ever really added up. All this stuff about, 30-06 would never do that. Why would they repave the grass? Well, actually it turns out bullets do weird things. And if it was a soft point round, which is very common, 16 out of 17 variations of a 30-07 from Remington are soft point bullets that are designed to fragment upon impact. In other words, not.
I think the McChicken is like what, $1.65 or something? Yeah. They need to bring back the double cheeseburger deals. Because the McChickens are good, but I like the double cheeseburgers.
To go straight through. That never made any sense. Why would they pave over right away? I don't know. Maybe it's traumatizing to have a corpse with all its blood pouring out in the grass when people are trying to go to class at their university.
Nah, fuck them kids. Them kids, they need to relive the trauma every day. It's got to be there for at least a month. I mean, he makes good points. Everybody else, but they paved it over. It's like maybe they were done with their fucking investigation. Do you ever think about that? But no, okay. It's obviously it's a conspiracy. Rachel Wilson. I was just saying this to Andrew last week. It's worse than the QAnon op, and it's worse than the people who are willing to beat you down in the grocery store over a COVID mask. I don't know if it's worse. I don't know if it's worse than the COVID shit. The COVID shit is unprecedented, to be honest. Nick reacts to Candace Owens getting ratioed multiple times on Twitter as the Charlie Kirk conspiracy falls apart. Ben Shapiro is one of my biggest ops, data Republican, major op. You're giving them a slam dunk by being wrong. True. It's the same thing I said with Trump starting the Iran war. Like, he's making all of these pieces of shit look good because they're the peace side now. Kyle Kalinske, he's the peace side now. All these socialist fucking thieves that want to just rob everybody of their money, they look good now. They're the good side that doesn't want to blow people up. The same thing here.
Heart of the Wolf sent $50.
77 likes, boys. 23 more likes. A Michael Jordan amount of likes to get to 100. So if you haven't yet, please smash the thumbs up.
Did you see Ben Shapiro did a parody of Candace Owens' show? After like 30 minutes, he dropped the act and broke down all of her logical fallacies. She is making him sound like a reasonable person. Crying face emoji.
I did. And honestly, that is literally what is happening, is she is letting them snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. She got ratioed by Data Republican, Andrew Colvett, Ben Shapiro.
Shootings by transgenders, there's been quite a few of them, Ron Paul or die. There was that one woman who was transitioned to a man who shot up that school, but there was a good Samaritan. There was a cop that got in there and like took her out before she did too much damage. There was the one who shot up the Catholic school. That was the one before this where the guy also wrote on the bullets, I believe, and he had that like demonic video. That dude was demon possessed, man. Like, to me, that guy was possessed by some demon. And then you had this. Wasn't a trans shooter, but in a way kind of connected to the trans thing because he was, fucking someone identifying as a woman that was a man. So yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot there. It is worrisome.
And it's true. It's making us look like idiots. Ben Shapiro is eating her lunch right now. Andrew Colvett is eating her lunch right now. Data Republican is eating her lunch right now. Because she was wrong. And it's not sustainable. You can't be wrong forever like that. You can, and I kept saying, like, when.
Yeah, I know, dude. No truths, Calhoun. Me too, bro. You fucking assholes. It's gonna be hard not to drive to McDonald's and get a nice fry and McChicken, maybe a double cheeseburger. You got, I mean, God dang it. Why you guys got to bring that shit up?
When will it end? She's obviously wrong. When will it end? Here it is. Here's the big, spectacular moment of truth. And so, like, I'll show you. It was brutal. Brutal. I'll pull it up right now. It's crazy. And by the way, these people suck. Like, I don't like these people. But she's handing them a victory. Okay, here, I'll pull it up. This is Data Republican. So Candace Owens says to Andrew Colvett, no, Andrew Colvett.
Did I see that? Nick, do you have an earpiece? Nick has an earpiece. He's a Fed. Fed confirmed with his fucking earpiece. Did Alex Jones talk you into that? What do you have, producers in your ear, Nick? Maybe he's just got so much money instead of having headphones. Which I like headphones. I enjoy having headphones on. But instead of having headphones, because everybody's got to see his beautiful head of hair, he bought an earpiece. Or maybe he's a Fed.
Okay, here, I'll pull it up. This is Data Republican. So Candace Owens says to Andrew Colvett, no, Andrew Colvett, that would be you. And who even has time for all this? Look at the... What happened to a tweet? What happened to a tweet? This is not a tweet. So she writes all this stuff to Andrew.
Strange, if you were paying attention, like a lot of my audience is, what do you mean I have the wrong take? I'm constantly proven right if given enough time. But you guys always fucking move on to other shit and don't remember all the shit I was right about. Okay? Or you just deny reality, which is probably what you're doing.
Andrew Colvett, 1 million views, 21,000 likes. Data Republican, 85,000 likes, almost 4 million views. Data Republican says, hello, Mrs. Owens. You told millions of people that Tyler Robinson wasn't even there. You felt confident stating Tyler did not kill or murder Charlie Kirk. He was on camera, prone on the rooftop at 12:22, shot fired at 12:23. DNA on the screwdriver at 30 quintillion to 1. DNA on the rifle at 1.7 octillion to 1. He told his family he did it. His parents helped him surrender. He texted his roommate, I'm sorry. He engraved, hey, fascist catched on the ammunition a month before he used it. You said police didn't even question Lance Twiggs. He was interviewed twice, FBI the morning after. Joint state federal team 7 months later. His own attorney. Voluntary phone surrender. You laughed when you said it. You told Sean Ryan a shape charge killed Charlie. That PETN was in his microphone. The medical examiner says gunshot wound. Bullet fragments recovered from his body. 30-06 Mauser with Robinson's DNA found in the woods. Neither side, prosecution, not defense, has mentioned explosive not once in 4 days. You said the shot came from below. The Lucy building is above the amphitheater. You called Erica Kirk a clinical psychopath to an audience of millions. It was an occult ritual. You said Charlie was sitting in a pentagram. He made over 100 episodes, blah, blah. Hardest fact of all, Tyler Robinson's own defense lawyers have refused to make a single one of your arguments, not one. They're challenging DNA methodology. They're doing their jobs. And then I think she posted the Data Republican, posted the clip later. But it's like, dude, you're giving this person a victory. Data Republican is an op. This is like, Data Republican is probably in bed with the Zionists. Somebody, I think Sam Parker did a thread about this guy or girl, whatever this person is. Like, this is one of our enemies, and you're giving this person a victory. That's a slam dunk. Same thing with Shapiro. I think Shapiro got the ratio off, too. He tweets like 1 million times per day, but I'll try to find it here. So Candace tweets about how Charlie hated Ben Shapiro. 27,000 likes, 4 million views. Shapiro, 55,000 likes, 4 million views.
I hate Ben Shapiro too, but it is nice to see Candace getting ratioed. because they're usually the ones doing the ratio. So maybe that's a sign that the tide is starting to turn.
He says, see, here's the thing. I don't care about drama. I've repeatedly said Charlie and I weren't best friends. Maybe you were best friends with Charlie, maybe not. I don't know. I don't care. For 10 months, you've been slandering Charlie's wife, his friends, all of the people he worked with. You're working to acquit his murderer. You're spreading conspiratorial poison for cash. That's something anyone of decency should condemn.
Guys, can we please stop talking about food? Okay, please, all right? No
The
more
fact
food
that so
talk.
many are unwilling to do so is demonstrative of widespread cowardice, stupidity, wickedness, or all three. Ratio. Got the ratio off. It's like, so Ben Shapiro is one of my biggest ops. Data Republican, major op. You're giving them a slam dunk by being wrong.
She don't care, bro. That's the thing. They don't care about being wrong. Because it's proven they can be wrong. They've proved it over and over again that they can be totally wrong about something and it doesn't matter as long as they quickly move on to something else and just forget to just completely forget about the thing they were wrong about. Don't even bring it up again. Just move on to something else. Turn the page. Asmongold eviscerates Candace Owens. I don't understand how people can sit here and listen to a borderline illiterate retard invent theories about how Israel killed Charlie Kirk because he was going to expose them. Well, she spends every single day trying to expose Israel, but they don't kill her.
$1.41 Foyud.
Boyd. Thank you for the 2, brother. The 2 Canadian. Where's the logic there? The only logic is to insult you, by the way. It's that you are stupid and so ineffective that you actually are beneficial to them, so they continue letting you speak. This is the best explanation that you could have for why Israel is allowing Candace Owens to exist if they killed Charlie Kirk. Oh, no, I mean, the French hit squads, they're coming for her. Remember, there's a French hitman out there looking for her right now. At this very moment, she's got French hitmen scouring the world for her, even though she's not in hiding and she's like out in public. Correct. The compilation of videos that was shown, yeah, this is back to that, the bullshit they're telling about. Oh, they said there is no footage. Correct. Well, let's listen to this video real quick.
What that exhibit consists of.
So, yeah, it's about the exhibit.
It's a compilation of videos.
Again, that's what they cut out. What that exhibit exists of. So when he says there's no footage of him taking the shot, he's talking about a specific exhibit, a specific compilation of videos that doesn't include the shot. Not that they don't have a video of taking the shot, that specific exhibit doesn't. Okay? Understand. This is a game they play. This is the game they play all the fucking time.
That were part of the overall footage that was obtained from the Utah Valley University as part of the investigation.
And does that compilation video, from your point of view, capture Mr. Robinson arriving to and visiting the UVU campus?
It does, yes.
On September 10th through the 11th, 2025?
Correct.
Okay. And again, I asked you this question yesterday, but did you...
Bro, that is... Our El Jefe is the El Jefe from NoFX. How do you think he had so much money to send so many gifted memberships, bro? Shout out NoFX.
Prepare that video compilation?
Linoleum.
I did not.
Okay. Do you know who did?
It's a badass album.
The Utah County Attorney's Office.
Okay. Does that video, and I'm referring to 12.1 exhibit, State's Exhibit 12.1, does it include all of the footage collected by the SBI from UVU?
It does not, no.
Does that video, again, 12.1, include all of the footage you collected from UVU that captures who you believe is Mr. Robinson walking around campus?
Not all of the footage, no.
You reviewed this compilation with Mr. Olson, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, but you know, they have the numbers so they can go create a bunch of fake fucking community notes because they got the numbers to do it. Here's Viva Frey. Viva's been getting on Megyn Kelly as well. You know, at one point I tried to start a show because I had an episode where I had Viva and Alex Stein on. And I was like, dude, we should start a show. Just us three, like maybe every couple weeks or something, we just do a show with us three. Because I thought it came out pretty badass. I thought we had a good little chemistry. But they all just run away. They disappear. I don't do enough views, so everybody just abandons me. Like Viva Frey. Viva, you have abandoned me. And I will never forget that, Viva. I will never forget that I was abandoned by Viva Frey. It's okay. I still like Viva. If Tyler Robinson's parents, okay, this is another one where they're trying to say that it's all a psyop, that Tyler Robinson's parents turned him in and all that. And it's like, okay, sure. If Tyler Robinson's parents did not actually identify him in the videos and or turn him in, why didn't the defense call them as witnesses to establish this? Especially since they were in the courtroom and could have easily been called as witnesses. Serious question. It's a good point, Viva. Good point. Okay, now we're at this amazing article about how a 30-06. This article provides clear evidence-based answers for those questioning whether a 30-06 would likely have stopped inside Charlie Kirk's neck. The answer is yes, it would have. Okay? So here you see is a downward trajectory. I'm not even sure what the fuck, because I know it didn't go up. It went down. So, original 4K frame showing the approximate location of entry and estimated path of the projectile and fragments. The analysis draws on two major U.S. military sources. The 1962 U.S. Army Medical Department report, Wound Ballistics, which compiled... Remember, I went through this shit. I was doing all kinds of deep dives into like fucking all the medical reports on ballistic... I mean, I told people to do that. I was like, if you want to really get... There's a ton of fucking data. We've had wars. We've had people shot with 30-06s. Go through it. If you go through that and nobody's ever had a wound that didn't exit, a round that didn't exit, then okay, yeah, you're right. It's probably impossible. But of course, I knew that was not going to be the case because it's ridiculous. Which compiled data from multiple surveys covering thousands of casualties from World War II and Korea. Oh, fuck, dude. I guess I'm going to have to go get some McDonald's now. I have it with another 10. Bro, my favorite song, El Jefe, Linoleum is probably one of my favorite ones, dude. You guys did a good job writing that. That whole album, dude. That whole album, the one with the Ribbed, right? Or Ribbed for Your... I think it's just Ribbed, right? That's a fucking fantastic album. I don't care how woke and commie NoFX are. You know, they're from Berkeley. They can't help it. They got some good fucking jams, bro. Good job, El Jefe, writing that music, bro. I know you helped Fat Mike write that shit. Thank you for the 10 gifted, bro. Thank you so much. That's 20 altogether. Very generous. Thank you, El Jefe. I'm going to go pee on some linoleum right now just for you, okay? All right. Analysis. A deformed, wobbling, yawing, non-bonded bullet traveling at an estimated 2,507 feet per second that is designed to mushroom and deform upon contact likely began to tumble by over 90 degrees within 3 inches of tissue, separate, and fragment, dumping all of its 2,018 foot-pounds of energy within just 6 inches. Identifying the cartridge used. The ammunition used by Tyler Robinson is widely to believe the Remington Core Loked Soft Point 150 grain. An image of the cartridge head stamp is provided during Tyler Robinson's pretrial hearing. The head stamp reads 30-06 SPRG RP. The stamp identifies the caliber 30-06 and the manufacturer Remington. A side profile image of an unfired cartridge was also shown as evidence. The projectile of the cartridge has a copper jacket with an exposed lead point. Due to the shape and design of the projectile, this is assessed to be Remington's 150 grain core locked ammunition. Here's a box of it. It is important to note that the projectile for this cartridge is specifically designed to mushroom on impact. This creates additional surface area, which in turn increases drag and energy transfer immediately upon impact. No, you're wrong. I heard Valhalla, and Valhalla is an expert, okay? I don't know how he's an expert, but he said it would have been an even more giant hole that would have fucking just blew his head off. What are we talking about? Impact velocity, and foot-pounds of energy. To accurately determine the effects of the projectile, we must first find the impact velocity, not the muscle velocity. By using Remington's factory ballistic data, we can assess that the projectile impacted Charlie at a speed about 2,507 feet per second, with about 2,018 feet-pounds of energy. The range of Tyler to Charlie was about 140 yards at the time of the murder. Okay. Velocity in this is how the velocity in feet per second, energy in foot-pounds. Initial energy transfer and expected penetration. The 2012 Air Force report titled Ballistics of the 30-06 rifle cartridge found that hunting bullets, such as the Remington Core Locked 150 grain soft point, will travel through an average of 16 inches of ballistic gel before coming to a complete stop. This average is derived from projectiles that impacted the ballistic gel point forward, or in other words, straight on, not tumbling. Tyler was firing downward on Charlie at an approximated 10-degree angle. We must also take into account the angle of entry into Charlie's neck in addition to the downward trajectory. I'm telling you, this is very sciencey, all right? So this might get boring, but I think it's important that we read this. This degree is unknown, but unlikely to be a perfect 90-degree angle. This will be discussed more in depth later on in the article. The Air Force report shows how quickly a hunting projectile would transfer its energy into a ballistic gel target using a chart measured in foot-pounds to inches of penetration. Here's the chart. As noted in the chart by the yellow line, the majority of energy transfers within the first 8 inches of ballistics gel. This is with the round entering the gel at a 90-degree angle. Ballistics gel myth and yaw. This projectile shot from firearms do not fly in a tight and perfect spiral. All projectiles fired from a firearm will yaw. The yaw is caused by the center of gravity and deformation of the projectile as it is propelled down a rifled barrel. Additionally, these riflings imprint/cut grooves into the projectile, further deforming it. The result is a slightly deformed projectile that is slightly off balance. When a typical 30 cal projectile exits a barrel, it rotates over 3,000 times per second while traveling at speeds above 2,500 feet per second. Though the projectile is flying straight, it yaws. Here's an image of it. The axis of a bullet during flight does not lie along its trajectory. The angle between the trajectory and the axis is the angle of yaw. The spin stabilization of the bullet induces a circular motion of the nose around the trajectory. The yaw angle before interaction with the dense medium shaded is exaggerated in this diagram and is usually less than 1 to 2 degrees in practice when the bullet has stabilized. Instability due to venting of propellant gases close to the muzzle may induce high initial yaw, 3 to 5 degrees at close ranges. The spin stabilization of the bullet is overcome upon entering soft tissue. The yaw angle progressively increases, tumbling, and the bullet departs from the initial trajectory. The retarding forces upon the bullet are at a maximum when the yaw angle is 90 degrees. The maximum energy transfer and temporary cavity diameter are located at this point. So, yeah, we'll move on. In a study conducted by the U.S. Army Surgeon General in 1962 of over 5,000 U.S. casualties from Korea in World War II, not 11, World War 11, okay, funny. They note a projectile's yaw as one of the greatest factors that generates a tumbling. All right, I turned that back on. Thank you again for the 10 gifted, El Jefe. Thank you, brother, for the 20 altogether. You rock, dude. 17 away from 100, boys. Let's see if we can get there. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. It's much appreciated. They note a projectile's yaw as one of the greatest factors that generates a tumbling of over 90 degrees. They further emphasize, I mean, there's a lot of typos in this. This guy needs to learn how to write or proofread a shit. They further emphasize that this yaw increases the rate of energy transfer into the person shot. Yaw deviation of the longitudinal axis from the line of flight in a bullet without doubt plays a most important role in explaining many of the anomalies encountered in the study of bullet wounds. Yaw is increased proportionally to the relative density of the retarding medium as compared to air. So in tissues, it is augmented some 800 times, with resulting very complex rapid bullet motions. This rapid complex motion accounts for wound damage much more extensive than attributable to motion of translation alone. Yaw augments the retardation of a bullet in tissue, thereby materially increasing the amount of kinetic energy entering the wound production. I'm telling you, this is very sciencey. The report further notes on PDF page 167 that density of resistant materials is a direct factor on the retardation and other motions of a missile projectile. The report details that the yaw may cause the projectile to be tipped up to 90 degrees or more in a few inches upon it entering the tissue point. When taken into account with the angle of trajectory and the angle of entry of Charlie's neck, the bullet would have likely began to tumble upon impact upwards of 90 degrees. Simultaneously, the Remington core-locked projectile is designed to mushroom. This mushrooming creates more surface area, thus increasing drag, which in turn increases the speed of the kinetic energy transfer. In ballistics gel, the majority of the energy transfer is within the first 8 inches, generally speaking using similar cartridges. The core-lock design has been in production since 1939. It does not use a modern-day bonding process to bond the lead core to the copper jacket. Instead, it essentially uses a crimp around the center of the projectile to lock the lead core to the thin copper jacket. Upon impact, the tumbling and simultaneous mushrooming of the projectile would have likely caused the copper jacket and the lead core to separate. This is easily visible in the photographic images, photographic evidence provided by the prosecution during Tyler Robinson's pretrial hearing. Okay, that's the bullets. Clearly, they got fucked up. The fragmenting of the projectile would have increased the rate of the energy transfer into Charlie. The 2018 foot-pounds of energy from the 150-grain projectile would have transferred near instantaneously into Charlie, causing 130 cubic inches of displacement of his fluids and tissues. The tissue is generally elastic in nature. The fluids make up our body are not. They do not compress. This displacement would have forced fluid into his head and chest in an instant. The tissue would then spring back to its original size minus tissue damage. This displacement is extremely visible in almost every video of the incident. The following two images are two consecutive frames of the same video, one prior to impact. Okay, if you don't want to see this might be a time to turn away, I've watched this. I mean, the one that to me just made it very clear was the one that's from like it's to his side. Like if he's standing here looking this way, it's like from this angle. There's a photo or a video, and you can see the bullet hit. And you can see his whole back balloon out as like that bullet is just destroying his insides. To me at that point, it's like, yeah, you can see the bullet. You can almost, you could literally see like the bullet push back against the skin on his back and then like kind of like ricochet back. Like you can see it in slow motion if you want to put yourself through that. So yeah, here's the moment the bullet entered, I believe. The displacement extremely visible in almost every video of the incident. The following two images are two consecutive frames of the same video, one prior to impact and one upon impact. Okay. That's always tough to see. I hope in writing this, the conspiracies can finally stop. There was no magic bullet. There was no exploding mic. This is the result of a bullet designed in 1939 and basic physics. Primary sources. So yeah, very sciencey. But yeah, that's the way you. No, let's just listen to Ian when he says, "Bro, if you believe that, oh, bro, I got a bridge to sell you. If you believe a 30-06 wouldn't just fucking blow his head off if it even came an inch within his head, dude." Backskin W. The aftermath is worse. Yes, the aftermath is worse, but it's still. I mean, you're seeing the moment a guy gets killed. I don't like that, I don't like watching people die. It puts me in a bad mood because I have a thing called empathy. And, even somebody I don't like, watching them die has a negative effect on my mental state. So I try to avoid that. It's the mic, right? Not Big Mike? Yeah, it was definitely the mic, guys. It was definitely an exploding microphone. I mean, Jesus Christ. You know what? I wrote a song. We'll end it on this song I wrote a while back and created with AI. When all this was kicking off, it started with, the shot came from behind him, actually. The hole in the front is the exit wound. The shot came from behind him. Okay, well, that's all bullshit, debunked. Even the guy who came up with that, he gave up on that. Oh, no, it was the drones and flying in the fucking air. It was the drones. Oh, no, it was the hidden wrist gun. The guy goes like this, and then the guy shot him with the hidden wrist gun. And then it was the microphone, the lapel, it just never stops. It's like... Anyway, we'll end it with this song here. Thank you guys for the support, by the way. We'll play this song. We'll jam out to this nice little song I wrote as a shout out to all the crazy shit going on around the Charlie Kirk assassination. And then we'll play the outro. And it's been a blast, guys. I'm going to try to do more of these. Like I've said a million times, super busy, hard to do shows, but I have to try to do more. Because, I just have no choice. I have to do more shows or I'm going to go broke and become homeless. But yeah, taking care of my dad. I've been going to the VA. I don't think we're going to be able to get his dementia, Alzheimer's linked to his service, even though there is a possibility it could play a part because he did, my dad was a Signal Corps guy. He climbed telephone poles, fell off the telephone poles, sustained head injuries. But like most people, he just, shook it off like it was nothing. It was a badge of honor, and he was too tough to ever complain. And he, like a lot of people in the 60s, they'd get a brain trauma and just keep going. Give him some smelling salts. And So it's because it was so long ago, it's going to be hard to connect it to his service and get him, a service connected disability where they would actually like pay me to take care of him. So I'm probably going to have to see what Medicare can do. Maybe I can. I remember my mom, when she was really sick, my sister took care of her, and she got like $20 a day to be a caretaker for my mom. So I'm not expecting much. So it's a tough situation. And the VA is helping, but I think it's going to be really hard to make a case that they will agree with that this is connected to his service. But I'm not going to give up. We'll see. But yeah, time's been tough, but I'm going to keep fucking trying to do as many shows as possible. Here's the, let me pull up this song. Sorry, guys, I got sidetracked there. But yeah, if you haven't, once again, I'll bug you guys to smash the thumbs up to help the show get out there. And, when the show's done, if you want to leave a comment, that helps as well. Let me see if I can find this, dude. Oh my God, it's been so long. I might be hard to find this because I have so much in my fucking creative list, and I don't think I have this one on a playlist. Let me see. Let me try it. Well, I mean, whatever. If it takes a while, it takes a while. Yeah, I'm gonna have to search. I'm gonna have to search for it. Oh, I don't remember what the name of it. Alien, I think it was an Alien. Damn. Yeah. I'm gonna have to search through all this shit to find it. Hold on. I think it's worth playing because I haven't played it in a while. Some of you guys might remember I was playing it a long time ago. Yeah, Jesus. Did I not even thumbs it up? Here we go. Found it. Shout out to all the conspiracy people. I think that's the wrong one. This one. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. Nope, that's not it either. What's the Tommy Boy one? I think it's some reason it got the same name. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. This is it. All right, got it finally, boys. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
It was from the front, from the left, from the right, from the sky. I think it was an alien that went flying by. It sure feels like I'm about to lose my mind. They say it was a camera. Some say it was a drug.
I forgot about the camera. That's right.
We got a million ideas, but no one truly knows. My uncle thinks it's the Israelis, but my sister says it's the Ukrainians. My mom says it's the Chinese, and my dad thinks it's the commies. I think it was an alien that went flying by. It sure feels like I'm about to lose my mind.
I already done lost it, bro. It's gone. The mind's gone.
They say it was a camera. Some say it was a drone. We got a million ideas, but no one truly knows.
Gotta fix the hair. This is a Strokes song, by the way. The Strokes wrote this. Very strokey.
Zoom in, look at his chin. Watch it again, slow it down. Did you see that? Was that another round? Is that a flitch in frame 36? Zoom in some more. Is that the shooter next to the door? Slow it down and play.
an alien, guys.
It sure feels like I'm about to lose my mind.
Already done lost it. It's gone.
They say it was a camera. Some say it was a drone. We got a million ideas, but no one truly knows. My uncle thinks it's the Israelis,
This is my favorite part.
but my sister says it's the Ukrainians. My mom says it's the Chinese, and my dad thinks it's the commies.
I agree, I think it was the commies.
was an alien
Definitely the commies.
that went flying by. It sure feels like I'm about to lose my mind.
Thank you, guys. I love that song. It's probably one of my favorite AI songs. This one, I just wrote the lyrics for it. I didn't create the music like some of the ones I played last time. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you. Smash a thumbs up on the way out if you can, okay? Much love. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.